Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Alright guys, welcome to the show. It is Wednesday night, 9:10 p.m. Central Time. And you already know me, I'm Yari. And I'd like to welcome back to the show, Jeff Lippman.
What's up, people?
What's up, people, indeed. And also, little RJ the Brooklyn Savage.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, lots going on, RJ. It's been, I don't know, it's been a rough couple 24 hours. Yeah, we usually kind of stray away from the news. I mean, when I mean news, I mean just like anything that's political, and we try not to get too down, if that makes sense. You know, we try to liven things up here in the chat. And RJ, say something again.
Yo.
Do that one more time.
Yo.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're coming through. We try to liven things up a bit, but you know, we can't really, ignore the giant elephant in the room. So yesterday in Uvalde, basically a piece of shit, decided to kill 19 kids at an elementary school. He killed his grandmother first, and went to an elementary school. One teacher died. 19 other kids died. And again, it's just, it's rough. I mean, because almost 10 years ago, there was the shooting at Sandy Hook, and now we have this, and now it sparks the debate of gun control. I mean, I know Steve Kerr had talked about it before I think Game 4 yesterday, and just gave a very just passionate debate where you can hear the anger and the pain in his voice, where he just basically said, when are we going to stop this? When is this going to stop? We need background checks for people trying to purchase weapons, guns. I know later on Shaq and, Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith talked about it, where Shaq just said, straight up, we can do whatever we can with guns. I'm just paraphrasing. We can do whatever we can with guns, but shit, you can go to the ghetto and get a gun. Like, you can get a gun just like that. So,
yep.
I'm not the biggest expert on this kind of stuff, guys, but, what do you see this country doing? Like, how do you see the government or anyone trying to make stricter gun laws? Like, if you had to guess.
Past is prologue.
Repeat that?
The past is prologue. They do jack and squat.
Yeah. I mean, just...
Yeah, they're not doing anything. And I said it yesterday in my tweet. They're not doing anything. As long as if it's something that's going to interfere in their beliefs, power, etc., they're not doing jack shit, man. They're not. And guess what? At the cost of what? A bunch of kids going to school where, like I told somebody in the group chat yesterday, school is supposed to be, in a lot of ways, a safe haven for kids.
Right.
Where you're supposed to go and learn. Hell, certain kids go to school for a damn meal. And then they go, and their innocence is robbed from them. With their blood being splattered all over the place? Come on, man. I'm with her. When is this going to stop? When is this going to end? What the hell are they going to do about this? They need to do something about this, but the sad reality is they're not. They're not going to do it.
No.
You want it to change? Next shootings have to be at evangelical golf clubs.
Yeah.
Rich country clothes for evangelical.
Well, guess what? God forbid the Senate All those guys had to be together in order for that to happen.
They already had that. That was January 6th. That didn't do it. I mean,
Lord.
Well,
I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, because I remember. We talked about that. Me and RJ and Monty and Kevin, we covered that, like the first show of last year, and to my knowledge, I don't think there were really any weapons involved or like guns involved, to my knowledge. But it's just, I don't think it's personally to me like, I forgot which one of you said this, but I think it was RJ that. It's going to take the Senate. It's going to take, something happening at, like, the Pentagon or the White House involving guns for them to finally give a shit. And not the fact that 19 innocent children who were about to fucking enjoy a summer off. Or Sandy Hook, kids that couldn't even, like, enjoy Christmas. Or an elderly black couple that was killed at a supermarket for no reason. It's just, like... Again, I got to repeat Steve Kerr. When is this gonna fucking stop? When are we gonna do something about it? And sadly, the answer is nothing unless it's gonna fit their fucking narrative. Because you can't just take away their guns, because it's gonna become a thing like COVID, where wear your mask. I'm not gonna wear my mask because it impedes on my rights as an American. It's like, dude,
just 100 times worse than COVID.
Yeah, like you take away their guns, it's going to become a fucking war. It's going to become a fucking civil war, unfortunately. And it's just, you're going to have those people who, they're going to negate the fact that 19 children were killed, but they're going to focus on the fact that, you can't take away my guns. And Lightning is saying, taking away guns will solve nothing, but it's just like, again, it's like playing a broken record. We need more stricter gun laws. And Ruben's on. Ruben, now that you're on, just tell us your thoughts about everything that's been going on the past 24 hours.
I hope you can hear me okay.
I can hear.
You can hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool. I've been keeping up with the situation, and I was at work yesterday and saw the news. I saw like the breaking news tweet. It was terrible. I can't describe how the parents of these children feel. Like, you can't. There's no way to like describe how they feel. It's terrible. However, that being said, every time there's a shooting, it always goes to, we gotta get rid of guns. We got to do something. The fact of the matter is that, and this is just me paying attention to all these other, shootings, things like that. It always happens in gun-free zones where there are no guns. There's no one there that has training or the ability to stop this from happening. And we had a similar incident, and, thank God no one got killed, but over in Brooklyn, I work in the borough of Brooklyn out here in New York, and there was a shooting in the subway. This crazy person, he ended up, in a subway car, just shooting, just going to town, and luckily no one got killed, but still, same thing. No one was armed. No one was able to defend themselves. And that's the worst feeling in the world, to just be at someone's mercy. And if there are more deterrents, if there are more people that are armed, more people that have the ability to defend themselves, this won't be happening. But there's no way in hell that you will have people to say, yeah, I'm just going to go into town. Just start shooting people, start shooting children, start shooting innocent people. There'll be no way that will ever happen if you have first of all, going back to the incident that happened in Brooklyn a while back here. Like, of course, cameras are down. No law enforcement. There's no transit police. All the cameras are down. In the subway, in the subway car in question. And that's an issue right there. It's just insane. And it seems like this also goes on. No security, no one is armed, no one's able to go about defending themselves, and it's insane. And I get people's anger and frustration. I really do. It's terrible. But I think we need to have a level head, and we need to go about educating people, because putting stricter gun laws, that's not going to stop the criminals. That's not going to stop them from getting access to guns, like Yari said. Like Yari just said before. Hey, you can go to the ghetto, get yourself a gun easy, just like that for you, a couple $100, easy. And his rap song said, I can get a gun way faster than I can get a job. That's true. So there has to be education, there has to be common sense, and in the sense that to go about just saying, yeah, we need to ban guns. The reason why in other countries, yeah, they don't got guns, but they live in a totalitarian state. No freedoms. They live with a boot, on their face. And we don't want that. We don't want to turn into that. We don't want to turn into China. We don't want to turn into Russia, North Korea. So there just has to be more education. There has to be more common sense. And I'm in favor of some background checks, but more so, above all else, there just need to be more people with the ability to defend themselves.
Right. You can do. I mean, that can help. Is also with background checks, but kind of going back to the point Shaq made about you can easily get a gun like anywhere in the world. With background checks, it's like with COVID. There are people actually making fake COVID cards, and
yeah,
you can have that. You can have a that can run like faulty background checks, where it's just like, do you want this gun? Yes. Do you know anything about guns? Kinda. Well, here's a gun. It's just, and
But that's that, and I don't want to just jump in, interrupt you, but
no, it's
again, that's where education comes in, and they do have, when you go to a gun shop, you have to fill out all these forms. You have to put in. There's a weight, there's a hole. And of course it goes back, hey, criminals gonna say, oh man, gee golly willikers, I gotta wait 48 hours. No, they're just gonna go black market, they're just gonna go in the hood, they're gonna go to, the young world and get a gun. So putting stricter gun laws again, it's not the issue, because criminals don't give a damn about laws. That's why they're criminals. So that is the whole point with this. And of course, when you have just mentally deranged people, when you put that ingredient in, it's wild. And that's the other thing, that before COVID, there were all these mental health institutions, and they closed a lot of them down. Like, I live out here in New York, and in New York, we have not only a homeless problem, but a mental health problem. There's so many people out here walking the streets, you know, and the subway, the streets, you know, in Manhattan and the other boroughs, and they just out of their minds. They're not in taking education. They're not in a place where they're not able to harm other people and themselves. So that's the other layer, and I think that, and then again, understands people's feelings. Is a hot button topic. Kids are involved. I'm still feel terrible, you know, just because of the children, like they never had a chance to grow, to be, follow their dreams, to enjoy the summer. And especially how kids, you know, how their last couple of years went. It's terrible. But the other aspect of this is definitely mental health, above all else. And if we just push them under the rug and not address the problem, this is going to continue to happen. You're going to have just deranged people walking around. You're going to have them not on their meds. You're going to have them out on the streets where they can hurt themselves and especially other people. Like this guy, and I'm going to look more into this guy because I'm going to do a show about this. He killed his grandmother. Like that's enough said right there. And I let you know the state of mind he was in. So that is why there has to be there has to be, you know, this issue with mental health. That's one of the things. And then the other thing is just having people not only armed, you know, security guards, teachers, school faculties armed, but trained. Having metal detectors in schools. Just having these places secure. And, you know, one last thing before, you know, I just throw the floor to you because I don't want to just hijack this because this is serious.
Yeah.
Because I know Jeff mentioned, you know, the Capitol riots. The Senate passed a couple of $1 billion in fortifying the Capitol. So that lets you know the state of mind of our government and the reason why you don't want to depend on them for nothing. Because they're the same ones who will give money to themselves and they will say, fuck you, while literally children, you know, just dead children, barely 24 hours, you know, cold, and they passed that. They passed that bill. Billions of dollars to fortify the Capitol. You know, security, fortifying the Capitol, people with guns, you know, and the same people that go about, yeah, we gotta protect the Capitol from people walking in the belt ropes. We gotta spend billions of dollars so that way that doesn't happen again. It's crazy. And yet, schools, you got shopping malls, you got churches, you got all these places that are just gun-free zones, and they're just a haven. It's just a big sign that says, yeah, go in there, have that as an open field day. And I think before we go and ask the government to protect us and do all this stuff, we gotta see what they're doing and what they're not doing, because they're not in our best interest. And again, it's personal accountability and responsibility and education that's going to change the course. We can't just depend on these people. I believe $4 billion to fortify the Capitol. Like $4 billion. Like, and they gave out a couple of more billion to fucking Ukraine. And we ain't getting shit. That is more than enough. That's more than enough of indication what these people's intentions are. and those same politicians out there in Capitol Hill, they're gonna use those dead children to pass just more tyrannical stuff. So that's pretty much all I got to say.
Well said, Ruben. Guys, have anything to comment on that?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think it's strange to say we can't trust the government to protect us. A part of that is let's turn schools into forts and let's arm teachers and have more armed people in schools. Schools are part of the government. They're part of state and local governments. So it's just one government we can't trust, but we can trust the local governments, the same governments that typically are responsible for most of the civil rights violations and abuses. The mental health rate in this country is no higher than any other first world country. There's no more video games, there's no more violent society, there's no more music. Elvis didn't do this, the Beatles didn't do this, Eminem didn't do this, Dee Snider and Twisted Sister didn't do this. The only difference between this country and other countries is the rate of guns. We have 400 million privately held guns. And it would be nice if what Ruben said was factually correct, but it wasn't. There was a school police officer armed there yesterday who engaged.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that, Jeff. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Well, you said there wasn't. There was a sheriff's deputy at the Parkland school who hit him.
But hold on.
No, I'm not going to hold on. You spoke for 40 minutes.
40 minutes. But I'm just
talking about accountability and education.
But I'm just saying in general, Jeff. Like we're not here to argue. I'm just clarifying what I said. Not here to argue.
All right, guys.
They all heard what you said.
Relax, guys. Relax. Take it easy.
I am relaxed, but I mean,
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm not sure who is going to give this education and to whom, and who's supposed to be receiving it, who's qualified to do it. I can tell you that New York laws are different than other state laws. You're saying that Florida and Texas are gun-free zones? No, they're not. Texas actually, they signed a law last year allowing it to be a concealed carry law. It's a gun-full law.
And I'm aware of that too.
Florida's stand your ground. So
I'm aware of that too.
All right, so I mean, you're arguing with yourself. But
I'm not. What I'm trying to say is
we can't trust police with the arms, and you want to trust teachers. We don't trust teachers to pick out the books for the curriculum, and you want to arm the teachers. This when people aren't educated and can't take personal responsibility, government's first job is to protect us from foreign and domestic. We are the problem.
Well,
and it was $1.9 million to fortify the Capitol. Most of that went to additional Capitol Police.
Okay. And they need all that. They need all that policing out there when they're already fortified. Like the White House and the Capitol, those buildings are the most secure in the world. And they need more.
They're public buildings, but it's deflection. You're saying they spent $1.9 billion poorly? That wouldn't have done anything in Buffalo or Texas or the 3 mass shootings we have a week. That wouldn't have done anything in Las Vegas. I mean, there's about 80% of Americans which agree on 3 things: universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons, which are easily defined, and no bump stocks to change a regular hunting rifle into an automatic weapon. Those are 3 things that pretty much 8 out of 10 Americans believe in. By the way, I could buy a gun in Maryland today. I could buy a shotgun or a rifle with no weight or anything like that in Maryland. You can go to Pennsylvania and Virginia and have no weight whatsoever. You can go to Indiana and buy a gun right now. You can buy it in Texas. And some of these people who you're talking about mental health and are criminals, there was no red flag. This kid turned 18 2 days ago. There's no red flag that would have caught him. There's nothing.
Just like with the shooting that happened in Buffalo and the same one that happened in Brooklyn, that's like it's literally in my backyard here. FBI had intel, and of course, with all these instances, law enforcement had prior knowledge, and they did nothing.
The failure of your system to work is your solution. It's not a solution. It's been proven as not working. So I don't know.
Well, I'm just gonna say this because I don't want to keep going on with this topic because Drew has a show to talk about. I don't want to disrespect him or his platform. I feel like I am, because I just don't want this to be a big gun debate right now. But what I was trying to say with just self accountability and responsibility and education is just educating people on not only on guns but to defend themselves, because you cannot depend on the government. And yes, I did say that there has to be more security in schools, so that way this won't happen again. This is the same song and dance with a lot of these instances. And of course, law enforcement have prior knowledge, they did not intervene, and all these places in question, gun-free zones, maybe you have one person out there with a gun, but that's just one person. Especially when you had a guy with a just gunning down children, gunning down people. We can just go about this, argue this all night, all week, all month, but the solution is we just have to just in terms of education, we need to do better. Because like you said, hey, we gotta do universal background checks. You really expect the government you really trust the government to have that information. You really expect these people that have been using our money just frivolously, insider trading, just sending money overseas when we here need money. Their track record ain't so good. And I'm for homeschooling. Like, if I were to have kids, I wouldn't send them to public school. I've been to public school. It's not good. It's not safe. So I know if I were to have kids, I'm not going to send them over to public school. You know, I'd rather homeschool, teach them, you know, where it's safe, have that community, you know. But yeah, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, I think now's the time to switch topics.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean for this to turn into what it turned into. Again, this was something that we needed to talk about. But yeah, Ruben, thank you for coming on and talking about it. Thank you guys for talking about it, giving your opinions, and it means a lot because again, we need to talk about this kind of stuff. This is the kind of shit that we can't avoid. We have to talk about it in our own way.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's like with the Capitol riot that happened last year. It literally happened that day, so we had to bring it up in some way. But
on my birthday nonetheless.
That's wild.
Yeah. I'm just like celebrating my birthday, or getting ready to celebrate, and then that happened. I was like, oh man, just it was that day. That day doesn't compare to what happened 24 hours ago.
Right.
It's just terrible. It's just just to wrap this all up in a bag, take it home. Like, what happened yesterday is terrible, regardless our views, our stances, and to just by talking about this, I agree, Drew. Some things have to be talked about no matter how comfortable it will make us. And if we just keep coming together and discussing and talking to come up with some solution, I think it will be just a better situation for society in general.
Right.
Well, this is probably the other reason why nothing will happen, and it's not a bad reason. It's because you heard Ruben cite his case in good faith, with a good heart. He's a person with a reasonable mind. He's damn intelligent, and he holds strongly held beliefs, which are, completely adverse to mine. Which I think that mine are good faith and whatever. And when you have some significant percentage of the country that feels the way he does, and some significant percentage of the country that feels like I do, and probably others on different extremes or in different in the middle or with different positions. I mean, it's hard to blame a representative government on any level for not being able to do anything because they're not getting a clear answer from us as a population. I'm not sure that they would. I mean, it's another question to say whether or not they would actually represent the people, even if there was a clear answer or not. I think there's plenty of reason to shed doubt on that. I think the single largest problem is the systemic use of money in national politics. Now we would get messy government. It'd be coalition governments. Probably less would get done, but at least what got done would be more compromise and more incremental, and nobody would be happy, but there would be, I think once you look back 20, 30 years, you'd see a slow march of progress in the areas that people want and not where people don't want it. Anyway, so part of the reason is that we of good faith and, not of knee-jerk reactions don't necessarily agree. It's not easy. There's no easy answers.
Right, and let me just wrap this up before we get to the next topic. Just again,
RJ has to talk. RJ needs to give his speech.
RJ, you have anything to add, bud?
Nah, I just think that I'm not a guy who's how do I say this? I'm not a guy who's I have a weapon, but it's more of a stand your ground type thing.
Right.
I don't believe in having a gun just to flex it and show it around and I'm gonna use this to pop off at any minute. Nah, it's for protection just in case I need it.
Right.
I live alone and I need to have it for protection because you never know what the hell is going to happen. But I'm not one of these militant guys wagging it around and I'm going to go ahead and decide I hate the world tomorrow and shoot 16 people at a Family Dollar. I'm not going to do any of that either. I'm just kind of neutral on the whole thing. Don't really have much of a dog in the fight, but I do want more protection for the children. That's one thing I am passionate about. That's one thing I do want. It's more protection for the damn children.
Protect.
This is getting ridiculous.
Protect all kids. That's what we want. Just protect the kids. Just when you start harming kids, that's when it comes to the point of like, okay, this many kids, like people in general should not be dying like this, but just children, like kids, they're innocent. They had their whole lives and they just got taken away from them for literally no fucking reason. It's going to become that thing of like, we could give all these suggestions, but I don't think there's ever going to be a definitive answer. Like, again, going back to what we were saying before, the government is not going to do a damn thing unless it fits their narrative. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's get away from this topic. Let's get away from this topic because it's it's kind of riling me up a little bit. Let's get away from this topic and talk about something a little bit less stressful. And let's talk about Dave Meltzer. Uncle Dave. So, Uncle Dave, I'm okay, Lightning. I'm just, I don't know. Just when it comes to kids, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Dave Meltzer made a not a tweet, but on his show, he stated that Bryan Danielson had never had a 5-star worthy match before he came to AEW. And I retweeted or requoted, whatever you want to call it, the tweet, and I just named his 5-star matches in WWE, which he did have. Two of them,
even just in WWE, but in Ring of Honor too. We're gonna discount that too? Like, come on, man.
Apparently,
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Dave.
It's not Tony Khan's Ring of Honor. So I put all the matches that, in my opinion, were 5-star matches, and kind of the opinion everywhere else. And I actually tagged Dave in it. I just said, "Retire, Dave." That's all I put. I didn't put anything like too malicious or anything. I just put, "Retire, Dave," and I got blocked because.
Oh no! God forbid he told me to retire.
How dare he told me to retire? That's negative SARS. Kenny Omega would come up with something more creative. But yeah, just shows the fucking spineless persona of a Dave Meltzer, of a fucking Brian Alvarez, of a Sean Ross Sapp. Just all these fucking quote unquote journalists. I'm using quotation fingers, you can't see it. That talk about wrestling that are very biased, that make it very clear they love anything in AEW. They love all of AEW. They refuse to say one positive thing about WWE. Even when again, is WWE perfect? No. But I just prefer WWE over AEW. Like I said, I said with that dipshit on YouTube the other day or the other week. I enjoy WWE more because I just like WWE. I'm a fan. I tried giving AEW a chance and it didn't work for me. So,
he didn't like the midgets tingling up in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Adam Cole with his no physique, looking like he is trying to climb the rope in gym class but couldn't.
Oh, good lord!
And his girlfriend who for whatever reason wants to jump on that. It's just, I don't know.
There's someone out there for
control him.
Adam Cole fears growth pills. That's what Anna said.
Oh shit.
But yeah, that's pretty much that was my Dave Meltzer story. What do you guys think?
Dave Meltzer just he's a big dude, but underneath that, he's pretty boneless, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very boneless. I don't know. Dave's got to get off his high horse, man. Just you come across as a mark, man, a biased mark, and that's not a good look for you. And to say that Bryan Danielson hadn't had any 5-star matches until he hit AEW, that's a slap in the fucking face to Bryan Danielson, who's put on countless of great matches over the years. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on. He only had one two since being in AEW. The one with Page and the one with Omega, which was, oddly enough, both of those guys' best matches.
Uh-huh.
And just, you can just go down the whole entire list of great matches he's had in Ring of Honor, Japan, WWE. Dave. Sometimes you just can't take him seriously. I don't take none of these journalists seriously. I don't take him seriously. I don't take Alvarez seriously. Semper Vivi, I don't take him seriously. Sean Ross Sapp looks like a geek. Ryan Satin, enough said. Like, I don't take these guys. What's her name? Denise Salcido, or whatever the hell her name is. Like, I don't take none of these people seriously. We're all paying footsies underneath the table with either WWE or AEW, and it's bias. It's no different than watching the news. Fox and CNN and ABC, they all have their narrative. They all have their little story to tell. And it's, I mean, how can you watch something like that or listen to something like that when each person has their narrative or story to tell instead of telling the truth?
Right. It's just
this doesn't concern me. I mean, I'm not concerned what Dave Meltzer says. It's a silly statement. Bryan Danielson has been one of the best wrestlers in the world for close to 2 decades now. He's had plenty of 5-star matches, and I don't even really care about 5-star matches because if there's a 5-star match and no story, I'm not interested in it. So, I mean, Adam Page versus Takeshita last week might have been a 5-star match or a 4.5-star match in a vacuum, but in the context of the story, terrible, because it made Adam Page look vulnerable to someone that nobody had ever seen or heard of before. When he's supposed to be wrestling angry, instead he's having a 12-minute competitive match. So, wrestling is about context and storytelling as much as anything else. Anyway, Meltzer has been in this industry for 50 years. He knows what he said is foolish. He has a strong bias, but he also knows that outrage equals clicks, and clicks equals advertisers, and attention. So that's what he's doing. Whether he likes to pretend that he's holier than thou or not, he's just a mild-spoken carny.
Right. Was it B Sharp said he wants me to talk about Ringside News? Is it you talking about was it the dude that was like working for him and he started like making these weird drunk tweets?
Yeah, I think it was the person that runs Ringside News, I believe.
Well, Steve Collier or whatever his name is.
Right, he made a tweet saying, you put the strap on a man that's a woman in the women's division or something like that, and then I saw that.
You were the only person that said that, by the way.
It was funny, Nyla.
I mean, that's not funny or anything like that.
Right.
But the funny part is that you have the balls to say that in 2020 or whenever he said that, because Nyla Rose hasn't been champion since that point in time, like around 2019, 20, something like that.
Right.
I mean, come on. You have the balls to say that? Come on, man. That's insane to me.
Well, what was funny was that Nyla actually quoted it, and she said, you said strap on.
Yeah, she was a good sport about it.
I know, right?
I mean, someone ratted on them to USA Today, which I guess has some affiliate relationship with Ringside News, which I don't know what that means exactly. And USA Today posted, "We've severed our affiliate relationship with Ringside News today." So, I mean, but the and again, I don't really know what that means, and so I don't know if that just means that they don't, pay him $50, every 3 days for, if they, use one of their articles or something like that. But the funny thing he said is that you bought Wrestling Inc. You offered to pay me between $1 and $2 million, and you just upped your offer to $3 million. The you being Tony Khan. He's saying that Tony Khan offered him $2 to $3 million to buy Ringside News. And I mean, my first reaction is, who would pay $3 million for Ringside News? But the only reasonable answer to that is Tony Khan. So I don't know what to do with any of this. But the whole thing is so ridiculous.
I'm trying to pull up the tweets, but he deleted his tweets. I know he messaged Tony Khan. He was talking shit about Jericho.
Drew. Check Wrestling Soup's Twitter. If you can.
What's happening with Wrestling Soup?
Oh, no. Because the tweets in question, I think, Mish, I don't know, quote tweeted it, retweeted.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He sent it around.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but a good part of it.
Yeah, a good chunk of it, yeah.
He said something like, "Hey, if you guys want to have a good time, go check out what's going on with Ringside News."
Yeah, he said Ringside News is drunk, I believe.
All right. All right. I see.
Alcohol versus cocaine. Ringside News versus Tony Khan.
Oof, who will win?
I see it, but I think they deleted everything.
Oh, okay.
I think, because I'm looking at Steve Carrier right now, and I think he deleted everything.
Yeah. Good old tweet. Yeah.
But
Team delete.
yeah, that's pretty messed up. All right.
I will sell my stake in the Drew Yari Patreon for between $1 and $2 million.
Wait. My Patreon's worth $1 million?
It is now.
Oh, yeah.
Prices are crazy in wrestling Twitter.
Quick, sell it.
Betty just said, sell it! Speaking of selling out, Ric Flair is training for one last match at the age of 73. He credits the city with getting him into better shape than 11 years ago, the last time he wrestled. And I'm on the Tampa Bay Times. The last time he wrestled was in 2011 at TNA. July 31st, it will be in Tampa. Will be Flair's one final match. And he said, wrestling is in my blood. It's my life. So I thought, why not one more go around?
This is
probably
suicide by wrestling, right?
Probably. I mean, there's been rumors. There was the Dragon Steamboat, but then he turned that down because he said, fuck that. There was a rumor that it was going to be Hogan, but that got debunked because I remember I think it was Don Tony who said this. Like, Hulk Hogan literally has like the equivalent of a small computer chip in his back, in his lower back. Hey, appreciate you for coming on, Ruben. Take care, buddy.
Anytime, man. Later, guys.
All right, no problem. Like, he has the equivalent of a small computer chip in his back, like in his lower back. So if he were to do the leg drop, that thing would shatter. So Hogan's never going to wrestle. So
is that why he doesn't talk so much anymore? The chip shocks him.
Well, also because everybody hates him and they think he's a racist. But no, that's not here nor there. Another opponent who is throwing his hat in the ring to have Ric Flair's one final match is Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Oh, right.
Two
pacemakers.
Was it the Hall of Famers? The Steiners were on the High Spot Superstore, and Scott said, Ric Flair ain't no friend of mine. And he said, I would kill him, I would destroy him in a match. Yeah, everybody wants to see him get beat up.
One match, two pacemakers. There you go. That's the banner right there.
One match, two pacemakers. Who lives? None of them. What do you guys think about old Ric Flair, this young up and comer, trying to make his name in the wrestling business?
I don't think he's going to get an opponent. So I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is going to be another time that Jim Crockett Promotions, which was probably recreated just for this, will take it on the chin. Because I mean, the only people that are going to get offers are non-serious people like Scott Steiner. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's probably like Jeff Jarrett or Tommy Dreamer will volunteer at some point.
RJ?
I heard there was a rumor that it was going to be a 6-man tag. Flair and FTR versus the Rock and Roll Express and his son, or one of his sons.
Oh God, Kerry Von Erich. I mean, Kerry Morton.
Yeah,
Kerry.
Like Kerry Von Erich. Now that'd be interesting.
That would be.
I mean, the Rock and Roll Express are about 67, 68 themselves. I mean, who's going to keep Ric Flair safe? Kerry Morton isn't capable of that. He's not.
No, sloppy.
He's sloppy and he's young. He's inexperienced and he's not really very strong. I mean, he's sort of like Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, that's a very fair comparison. That's what I heard. If that's the case, maybe you can hide Flair. It could be one of those situations, hide all the negatives, show off all the positives. I guess that being Flair in the ring, period. But him not doing too much, hiding all that can be a very, very good positive. But I don't know. But that's something I heard. And I mean, that kind of sounds right to me. I mean, know how much FTR are marks for historians and stuff like that, or marks and historians, I should say. It makes kind of sense to me.
Same thing.
And the Rock and the Rock and Roll Express, they out there prove that shit, we can still do this shit. And meanwhile, breaking in one of their terrible sons in. So
he can't even get Andrade to do this. If he can't get Andrade to do it, I mean, who else possibly would do it?
Yeah, I would, because I mean, Lord knows AEW's doing dick all the shit with Andrade enough as it is, right? I mean, I mean, might as well just Flair Andrade versus. I would do Flair and Andrade hooking up with Roosh, maybe Los Ingobernables reunion with Ric Flair, and maybe you do the Rock and Roll Express in the little pup there, but I don't know.
Fuck it. Ric Flair versus Nick Gage. Book it.
Oh my god!
How about Ric Flair versus Nick Cage?
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. But hey, Ric Flair did say he wanted to die in the ring, didn't he not? He said that.
What about Ric Flair? What about Ric Flair and Xavier Woods versus Page?
Oof,
he did say he wanted to die on top of a woman.
Woo!
yeah.
Come on,
Suicide
baby, come to Faith Mountain.
Woo!
Oh my God, Ric Flair is down for the count. Page wins.
Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I know that's a terrible British accent, but
And like, oh my God. I mean, there is one opponent. I do have one opponent in mind.
Okay.
Now bear with me. Ric Flair comes out, the 2001 Space Odyssey with his garb, his coat, whatever you want to call it, comes to the ring. The fans are going nuts. Then the lights darken. It gets really quiet, and all of a sudden, you hear this.
oh hell no! Oh no! Jeff's like, what the hell?
Well, what is that?
So what you're proposing is Ric Flair versus Lexington Steel and oh, good lord!
Oh my God!
Who wins off of that?
Nobody. the chat has no idea what that was.
Yeah, you're doing great with topics tonight.
Oh my God. Kyle's like, what the fuck is that?
Let's go back to Guns in America.
Oh, good lord!
Shit, let's talk about my dog getting run over. My dog didn't get run over.
Right.
I'm just picking the.
We're going really morbid tonight, people.
So, guys, abortions. Is it real or is it fictionary?
Oh, all right.
Oh my God. Yeah, guys. Lexington Steel. Google him.
No.
RJ, what were we gonna say?
So apparently, Brett Lardendale of GCW fame is out here giving fake COVID tests.
Of course,
Yeah, and some of the wrestlers were saying that they were promised $50 and it never came. It all went to Jeff Jarrett and I think he said Kevin Nash was the other, But the point was that they brought in these big names and that's where all the money went. And
Ain't that great?
I mean, that's shindy. That
sounds about right.
Everyone said GCW was the number 3 promotion in the country, and I said I think their 15 minutes is going to be up within 6 months, and we're right around that time now.
Yeah, it's very, like you said, you hit the nail on the head. Very shindy. I tried watching the show they had. Very sloppy. Not very good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody in the chat that likes GCW, but it's very sloppy wrestling. And it's okay if you like sloppy wrestling. I mean, the only thing sloppy I like in my lifetime is blowjobs, but I mean, hey, that's just me. But besides that point, sloppy wrestling just doesn't hit for me. And it's that's exactly what it is. Sloppy wrestling by guys who either can't get an AEW contract, a WWE contract, or hell, even an Impact contract. And if you can't get an Impact contract, I mean, my God, oof, you got problems.
Did you see the clip where Janela lit his foot on fire and it wouldn't go out?
Oh, God.
I tweeted about it. I tweeted about it on Sunday.
Oh, God, what a
fucking
fucking
the only
moron.
tweet that I tweeted out on Sunday. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, yeah, this is pretty much the lines of this. This is why I get embarrassed when people ask me if I watch wrestling still.
Well,
Shit like that and the fucking what's his name? Marco Cunt sucking on a dildo.
Dwarf dong sucker. That's what Cornette calls him.
Dwarf dong sucker.
Is that the sloppy blowjobs you were talking about?
Well, not those kind of blowjobs.
He was forced by what's his name? The guy that wears the fucking pantyhose.
You're talking about
He was like David Starr. What's his name?
Effie?
Yeah, I'm good on all that. I mean,
wouldn't that be considered?
I'm not a homophobic man or anything like that. Please don't take that wrong, because when you say things like that, people, oh, well, you're a homophobe. No, I have no desire of seeing that. That's not funny to me. That's not attractive to me. I don't want to see that. I'd have no desire of seeing that. Okay, I don't. Just like I don't want to see Sonny Kiss twerking and booty. I don't want to see that. I have no desire of seeing it. It's not funny to me.
It's not
funny. It's not attractive. I walk away from it. I don't want to see it.
I mean, gay porn is generally made for gay people. I mean, it's okay to not everyone has to like every kind of entertainment. I mean, plenty of people don't like them, horror movies or the Marvel Cinematic Universe or mystery box shows. That it's fine. Not everything is even made for certain things are made for an intended audience and. I mean, wrestling's a variety show, and that's okay. I don't really want to see it either. I mean, if I'm at the show, that would probably be my, merch and get some popcorn break. But definitely. I probably wouldn't be at that show anyway. I mean,
you can't pay me $1 million to be at one of those shows.
Oh, you could pay me a lot less than $1 million to go to one of those shows. Sure, I can be bought. Don't worry about that.
You know who else doesn't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, guys?
Who?
Hangman Adam Page.
Can you say it correctly? Dairy cow farmer.
Dairy cow farmer Adam Page.
Dairy cow stable boy Adam Page.
Is tired of superhero movies and wants to see something original, not just people flying around in capes and shit.
Wait, you have to read what Anna wrote.
What did Anna write? I'm super gay and I don't want none of that sloppy gay shit. All right, that's good to know.
That's the this show's been redeemed.
What is even in the what is the show even? I don't even know what the show is anymore.
I think this time to wrap it up.
Oh no, we got a few more things to talk about. Adam Page said that, and of course CM Punk responded by showing what looked like an album cover for an Ice Cube record, where it said "Dead on Arrival." So CM Punk sticking up for the superhero movies. So good on Punk.
Oh God,
good on
Punk. Was
Punk.
that what that was about? Is this part of their silly little work?
I don't know, but yeah, Adam Page sucks. Can we all agree that Adam Page sucks?
I'll tell you what. I'd rather watch the Eternals than watch Adam Page's championship matches.
Maybe I will someday.
Lord knows the Eternals. I mean, my God, I fell asleep through the middle of that.
Jesus Christ.
Not a great movie.
Yeah, not very great.
All right, let's just go over Dynamite real quick. We don't have to go through match by match.
Oh man, do we have to?
Well, we got to lead into the pay-per-view, and then we're going to do questions, and then we're going to get out of here. That's pretty much what we're going to do.
Anna, save me. Save me, damn it.
Anna can't save you. And it cannot save you now.
Ah, damn.
All right, well, we're not going to go through match by match. We're just going to talk about things, okay? So the show opened with a steel cage match of Wardlow versus Shawn Spears with MJF as the referee. MJF looking like paying homage to Shawn Michaels when he was a special guest referee with like the tight biker shorts. He did that, yeah. I mean, he wasn't as flamboyant as Shawn, but like he just came out just to be a dick because that's MJF.
But he did have the Burberry print inside the black stripes on the referee shirt. That was fine.
No, MJF gets it. He gets like the small details. He gets it. The whole point of the match was that Wardlow cannot touch MJF no matter what, or he would lose his opportunity to wrestle him, and he would have to stay home and get paid. During the match, Wardlow still had his handcuffs on because MJF conveniently couldn't find the keys. And then Wardlow just rips the handcuffs off like he's the Incredible Hulk. There was a bit in the match where Shawn Spears gets out of the cage and they conveniently decide to say, "Oh, you can only win by pinning or submitting your opponent in the cage." Okay. And he ends up grabbing the steel chair. MJF holds Wardlow as he goes to swing. Wardlow ducks, and MJF actually takes a steel chair shot to the head.
Oh, good lord!
And then not Wardlow. MJF falls down. Wardlow does his symphony powerbomb thingy, and then another referee comes to the ring and takes the pin. 1, 2, 3. Wardlow wins, so he will face MJF this Sunday. That happened. It was a nice way to open the show. Wardlow's over. The crowd loves Wardlow. CM Punk and MJF had a face-to-face. Oh, not MJF. Hank. CM Punk and dairy milk farmer Adam Page had a face-to-face. People loving Punk. Page comes out. He cut an okay promo. I'm not sure how to feel about this edgier Adam Page, but it's a lot better than what we were getting before. He just tells CM Punk, "I don't respect you. I don't like you. This Sunday, I'm not defending the AEW championship from you. I'm defending AEW from you." That's what he said. Go ahead.
Which would have been an interesting story if that was the story.
All along, yeah.
Right.
I mean, what has Punk done other than embrace and attempt to lift up AEW and snipe at WWE at every chance he gets? I mean, he's done nothing to diminish or degrade AEW in storyline or in reality. So I don't know what Adam Page is talking about. I mean, it's he's manufactured something 3 days before pay-per-view.
Well, Jeff, he didn't kiss and make up with Colt Cabana.
That's true.
He didn't tell Eddie Kingston. He told Eddie Kingston to wear a sports bra. And
good advice.
What else? And he told John Silver he needs to wear lifts. So he did those things.
Oh God.
All of those things would have helped AEW. No, I just I didn't find this promo to be particularly emotional by Adam Page. I thought it seemed a little forced. Like a couple weeks ago, he had one that seemed natural, but then they backed away from it last week. They turned them both, like they were both acting heelish, then they both act face-ish, and now Adam Page is dancing in heel territory again, but he's defending the honor of AEW against AEW's biggest star. I mean, I don't know. I mean, their stories often don't make sense. I don't know. This is It just, I mean, people were putting it over. I just thought it rang hollow. And by the way, I liked the end of the MJF Wardlow match in the cage. But this whole first hour felt like they were doing it like in a 3-foot swimming pool. I just felt like the whole first hour, everybody looked slow and lethargic.
Right. And then after that, there was a bit with the JSA, the Jericho... No, not JSA, Jericho Appreciation Society, who... decided to pick on a guy in the back wearing a Moxley t-shirt, and Jericho threw a fireball in his face for some reason because he's a wizard. Those are his words. I'm a wizard.
I can kind of see why him and Triple H had that famous argument a couple of years ago. seeing some of Jericho's ideas being played out on television, I can see why him and Triple H had creative differences. But go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I skipped past whatever the next match was. I think it was Private Party versus Moxley and Kingston. I skipped that.
I wasn't missing much.
Jeff, did you watch it?
I watched the whole thing, but this is terrible. Private Party. They started out green and bad, and they've gotten just as green and maybe worse.
Yeah, it's time for them. They got to go. They got to go back to red. They're going to go back to House of Glory because it ain't working. It ain't fucking working.
And they don't even bother to mention Andrade Family Office anymore.
Exactly.
All
It's
right.
such a fucking fail. It's a fail.
Next is the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship, FTR versus Roppongi Vice.
I like the fact that FTR comes out with the old classic Ring of Honor titles instead of the modern ones.
Right.
But, yeah. I had to throw that little tidbit in there.
I skipped this one. I know what happened afterwards. Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan came out to...
They should have done that a whole lot better.
Great O'Khan is terrible. I mean, basically...
He is awful. He's green.
Whoever his opponent was in whatever moveset basically committed offense on themselves because he hit nothing. Like Trent Beretta put himself through a table with the claw. I think it was Dax who knocked himself down. I mean, he wasn't doing anything. Jeff Cobb looked good. I mean, and then they do like the 3D or a version of the 3D.
Yeah, the neck breaker.
Yeah, the guy fell down, and meaning Great O'Khan. He hit the ground, about a second and a half before Jeff Cobb, threw whoever the victim was down. I mean, it was just. I've heard that Empire is supposed to be great, and this was terrible.
It is minus O'Khan. Like those guys are good. I mean, Ospreay, he's taking it all over the world. He's got some guys from the UK. A good tag team. I forgot what those fucking guys' names are, but he's got those two guys, and he's got Cobb, and he's got TJP, who I don't care for whatsoever. But I give the devil his due. He is a good little technical wrestler. But O'Khan is probably like the worst guy, and honestly, they don't even need him in the fucking group. I mean, Jeff Cobb is a fucking monster. Dude may not be all that tall, but he's a fucking monster. He's a brick shit house. Nobody's built like him in wrestling.
I mean, for AW, he's perfectly fine. He's
right.
A fire plug. He's built. He's sort of like Hook and Brian Cage. Not Hook. Not Hook. Hobbs.
Hobbs. Yeah.
All right. Next is a three-way dance: Jungle Boy versus Swerve versus Ricky Starks. This one I did watch. I thought it was okay. That was pretty good. Swerve getting the win. Nice seeing Swerve.
Flips and flops.
Yeah, it's nice.
This match was pretty good. This match, they worked pretty well together, except I don't like Jungle Boy, so it would have been better without him. But I thought this was for the FTW title. I don't know why Swerve doesn't have the title right now.
Yeah, they need to do something quick.
That
title means dick all the shit, man.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that title. No one cares about the FTW title. Just get rid of it. It means shit. It didn't mean anything back then. It doesn't mean anything now.
I remember that wrong, though? Was it not on the line?
No. It was
on the line. I think it was on the line last week or the week before that.
Okay, so this whole thing, when they decided to make it a three-way and Jungle Boy looked at Diet Edge and looked like he was upset about it, it wasn't for the title, or did they just change that during the course of the week, or we'll never know?
Yeah, I mean, it's AEW schizophrenic booking.
I mean, wrestling is schizophrenic booking. I mean, I'm not going to put that just at the feet of AEW. But all right, but this match was good. I mean, this match was good. And in the end, they had the sequence that everyone knew that they had to have. It was fine. I mean,
everybody hit somebody.
It was good to see Keith Lee, sort of fly.
Salutations.
Look, I'm flying.
I'm
Greetings and salutations.
I'm flying, my good gents.
Mia Yim, I'm going to come home and I'm going to have sex with you tonight.
No, he wouldn't say it like that. He would say, Maya, would you be interested in intercourse for the evening?
That is even better.
would you allow me to take my penis and stick it in your orifice?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then wait till I ejaculate down your throat.
Down your esophagus.
Down your esophagus, and then maybe... Never mind. I'm just gonna skip ahead.
Yeah, this is the worst porno I've ever heard.
Oh my god! All right, Thunder Rosa came out wearing a cowboy hat and said, "This is the real Rosa," and then I'm gonna fight Serena Deeb at the pay-per-view. So that's like what 14 minutes of screen time since she's been champion.
So wait a minute.
Yep.
So all this time, Thunder Rosa was fake.
I don't know. I don't know.
Bamboozled, led astray, and ran amok.
Yeah. Apparently, she's was waiting to get Mickey James's overflow, overstock outfits.
Cowboy country.
This actually wasn't a bad promo by Thunder Rosa, but they played her music, and then she remembered she had something more to say, which really didn't add anything. And she kept talking, and then she kept talking over the music. It was so unnecessary. Like, she should have just stopped when she stopped. It would have been better. And then she fist bumps Tony. That's just weird. I mean, I don't like how Tony is like super friendly with like a couple of the women wrestlers. It's lame. The guy just has friend zone written all over him.
Hey, Britt, would you like to come with me to the movies? No, fuck off.
Is that Keith Lee asking or Tony Schiavone?
That's my Tony Schiavone impression.
It's a lot like your Keith Lee impression.
No, my Keith Lee is salutations, good gents.
Would you like to come accompany me to the cinema and enjoy the imbibement of a celluloid fictional story? Ugh, that got terrible. Can we delete that? Can we edit that out?
No.
Damn it.
The show is unedited, uncut.
You should really rethink that.
No. Next is the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament semifinal. Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker won.
No surprise.
The match was what it was.
Got really sloppy at the end. Really sloppy.
So let me guess. They brought my girl in to fuck her in the end, huh?
Yep.
Because Tony Khan has a hard on for Britt Baker.
She also got a bloody nose, so, I guess she'd probably rather have cream pie on her face now than actually get a bloody nose the hard way, but okay.
Yeah, because she was so embarrassed. Oh, God.
It was so embarrassing. I just had to leave. Next is the main
Apparently
event.
I was going to get my shirt ripped off, but, a couple of months later, I take my shirt off and my panties off anyways for OnlyFans, so... I don't.
Even though when my nudes came out, I was so bloody embarrassed that I had to leave forever.
Oh my god, jeez.
Anyways, main event time: Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament Semifinal. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. Samoa Joe won by submission. Decent match. So Samoa Joe will be in the finals this Sunday, which we'll talk about in a bit. What'd you think, Jeff?
It was a pretty good match. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly doesn't do anything for me, but it was fine. I actually got this one wrong because I thought it was going to end up being O'Reilly versus Cole in the finals. And I thought that's why they made the big deal about Samoa Joe getting the pipe injuring his left arm. That was sort of the excuse. This is the better matchup. I just, they made a big deal about it. Adam Cole was saying, all three of us are going to make it into this. And then Bobby Fish lost his qualifying match, so he's really disappointed. And so it just looked like, when Kyle O'Reilly, who really is, nothing more than a glorified jobber, was starting to win matches, I just figured that was the story they wanted to tell to sort of continue the schism within the Red Dragon wing of the Super Elite or Undisputed Elite, whatever they're calling themselves this week. But I was wrong. Got it wrong. But, I'm happy enough to see Joe and Cole. I mean, you sort of know that it's going to be, that the Ring of Honor core of Lethal, Dutt, and Satnam Singh doing something to interfere with this one to protect Joe. But, I don't know. They want Adam Cole win something, right?
No, it's not that Adam Cole or they want Adam Cole to win. It's that Britt Baker wants Adam Cole to win. So she gave Tony extra. She got to man the Owen Hart Cup. So
yeah, Joe's got a title. Cole will get his whatever you get with the Owen Hart Foundation win. And more or less everyone does have a trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine Keith Lee walking in on that?
Oh my goodness!
Heavens to Betsy!
Oh, Tony, I would like to. Oh my goodness, I shall leave.
Pardon me, good friends. I bid you a good evening.
Oh my! He just goes up to Swerve. Swerve, you're never gonna believe the fallacy I just saw.
Might I suggest that you use the deadbolt next time?
I've never seen a young lady use her tongue in that kind of manner.
Oh my!
Well, I did go to dental school.
Jesus Christ! All right, let's get to ratings, then we'll get to predictions, then we'll get to questions. Monday Night Raw from the 23rd drew 1.732 million, which is down from last week. SmackDown from, let's see, I got her here.
You know what happened during the Cody clock, right?
We know, Jeff. May 20th for SmackDown drew a 1.997, which was up from last week. NXT yesterday, I don't know if the ratings came out. Oh, they did. 551,000, which was down from last week. Down 50,000.
No, Yami Bigelow.
And and speaking of Nikita Lyons, she tore her MCL.
Oh, damn!
So
is that real or is that story?
Shifting all that ass.
So she'll be out for a considerable amount of time. Also, Soup, Mish and Kevin were talking about this. So I don't know if it was a tweet or maybe if it was like an interview, but like she said that she is pro gun, like she's pro being able to carry your gun. Yeah. And of course she got shit for it because people calling her, oh, you suck, I hate you. Why would you agree? Why would
You're a racist.
You're a racist.
That's what I heard in group chats. You're a racist.
It's like, why? Because I don't know. It's just dumb as fuck. The only weapon she has is like,
she's got the weapon of mass destruction.
Oh yeah! All right, double or
shit on that.
So Double or Nothing will be this Sunday, May 29th, in the T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada. There are 11 matches.
Oh boy! So that's what, 5 hours? Oh good lord!
I know there's one more tournament match on Rampage, which I don't give two fucks about. So, let's talk about the matches. Pre-show match will be Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling, and an I don't give a fuck match. Do you guys give a fuck?
No, but Hookhausen's gonna get the fucking win.
All right, Jeff, do you give a?
I don't care about the union of these two fucking guys. I like Hook to a certain degree. Like I said, it's more so of it's a street thing. Why I kind of resonate with Hook a little bit. But besides all that, I do not care about this whatsoever. Tony Nese is a guy. I've said it thousands of times. Great wrestler from New York. Good guy, but he's not cut off of mainstream wrestling, man. He's just an indie guy. So, and Smart Mark, I mean. Brilliant name, but what is he gonna do? Like, come on. No. And Danhausen, the least I say, the better. Honestly.
How about you, Jeff?
Faces win.
All right, moving on. Now we got to the main show. Jade Cargill defending the TBS Championship against Anna Jay.
Wow.
Giant matchup.
Like, I mean, how did this match get together? What they just feeding Jade random people? Jade's winning this. I mean, that's obvious, but I mean, that's what we're doing now. We're gonna give this chick like random opponents now. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yes. So, when Serena Deeb said that fake boobs are bad in wrestling, they decided to put, some of the people with fake boobs in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jade is going to win. This match is silly.
All right, going with Jade as well. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, men's Owen Hart Cup tournament final.
What Jeff said earlier, I mean, it makes total sense. Lethal, Dud, and the Jolly Green Giant there are going to interfere, and they're going to fuck over Samoa Joe with the arm, and Cole's going to get the win.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff, too.
Gotta agree with Jeff.
I agree with. Unfortunately, I agree with Jeff. Next, you have the women's Owen Hart Cup, final. Dr. Britt Baker versus the winner of Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander. Britt Baker is going to win.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Chris Statlander's so dead in the water, and so is Ruby Soho. Which is a shame. I had high hopes for Ruby, but maybe it's a Ruby thing at this point. Jesus, and Chris Statlander is Chris Statlander could be good, but she tries way too much, and it comes across very sloppy. She's a girl that can benefit from being in a performance center type environment. If she can be coached and shut down her want to do a little too much, I think she'd be all right. But with that being said, yeah, Britt Baker's totally winning this, and I mean, you can't convince me otherwise.
I'm not going to try to convince you, but I'm going to pick Ruby, and I'm going to tell you why.
Wow.
I think for reasons that are unknown to anyone, they want to turn Britt face and have a schism between her and who's her heater? Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been sort of playing with that for a bit. And then there's the Tony Storm thing. I think that they know that Ruby's been a failure so far, so they need to do something with her because she was supposed to be the one to solidify their women's division. So if she doesn't win anything, it's just Britt and Jade just looks like $1 million, even though she's getting better all the time. So right. I think they're actually going to surprise us on this one, and I think that they're going to try and turn Britt face. Maybe not at the show, but it's going to be more solidified, and it's going to be her against Jamie Hayter coming up pretty soon. So I'm going with that. Also, we can't all pick the same results in every match, or that's just boring.
Right. I mean, damn. I mean, if that happens, hey, I would be all for it, honestly, because that breaks up the pattern there. But yeah, I would love to see that.
I mean,
I like Ruby Soho. I know, like I said, between the booking and she's had some spotty performances and stuff like that. I just want to see her do good because I like her.
So, the winner of the women and the men's, what exactly do they win?
One would hope a fucking title shot, right?
Like, do they win a hug? Do they win a hug from Marsha Hart? Do they get to go to the dungeon? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, all those things.
Put sharpshooter.
It's just Martha hugging Adam Cole, going, "I fucking hate you."
Or it might be the opposite.
I hate wrestling.
We have no idea what it is. I mean, whatever it is, it's a foul if they announce it at the pay-per-view. I mean, at the very least, they should make up that they're giving like $100,000 donation in the name of the winner, and there should be a trophy with Owen holding 2 Slammies or something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, a title shot would make sense, right? But
yeah.
But there's not. They haven't even told us what the Owen Hart Foundation does.
Yeah, they haven't explained anything.
They sent us to the website. I'll tell you why they won't, because Steve and I looked at it, and I mean, it's a perfectly fine community-based charity, but it's not. It's not something that would inspire you to move your soul.
Anyways, AEW Women's Championship: Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb.
Thunder Rosa is retaining. Serena Deeb is no bueno.
Thunder Rosa's. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with Jeff. Thunder Rosa's. I mean, they have to really give this woman something because Lord knows, her run so far has been abysmal. This woman's barely been on television. She's barely been in any type of action. They have to do something here to spice this damn thing up. And Serena Deeb is a fine launching pad to kind of, get that fire going with this title run. And I agree with Jeff. Also, Serena Deeb does nothing for me. I'm sorry. Like, I know she's a great technical wrestler and everything like that, but that's where it begins and that's where it ends. Sorry.
Yeah, her promo last week was painful.
Well, yeah.
I'm just now realizing I'm finally agreeing with Johnny Z from Twitter. He said she looks like an old grandma.
Serena Deeb.
Yeah, I'm just like, good wrestler, but you literally look like a young grandma. Like, I'm just... But, yeah, I did...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And to anybody in the chat that might get upset with me, I believe in a total package. A good gimmick. Good style. Wrestling ability. Mic work. And sex appeal. I'm sorry. Like, that's another way my eyes are going to be glued to the damn television, too. Some sex appeal. Serena Deeb just ain't it. I'm sorry. Just not it. And like I said, she only has one of those boxes checked off, and that's the wrestling ability. Because like Jeff said, that promo was abysmal last week, and she's got the bitchy grandma Karen.
All right, you guys are gonna hate me. You guys are gonna hate me even more than you normally do right now, but I'm not gonna undo it. I know that you guys are Mandalorian fans, so. You know the old mechanic on Tatooine, the old woman?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You can't unsee it now, can you?
No.
Nope, I cannot.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on.
But she's just not it. Just not it. And I'm sorry. And if AEW's dedicated to younger fans, I mean, isn't Serena Deeb like 40-something? She's been around ever since I was in middle school.
She's not as old as you think she is, but I think she's under 40. She's like 36.
36?
But she looks 46.
Yeah, she looks up there.
She definitely looks like, the mom of the high schooler who jogs every day and became a vegan and does yoga.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It really does.
So Thunder Rosa will win and go back to making more videos on her YouTube and only being on TV for 11 minutes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Everybody likes Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, they do.
I like Rosa. I like Rosa too, but it's like, fuck. Like, just
what are we doing?
Use her. Use her more. Like, fucking when Britt was champion, it's just like she had almost 2-3 segments on fucking TV. She was always...
I mean, forget about it. She was all over the damn show.
She still does.
Yeah, she still is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm questioning who's the fucking women's champion here.
Jade's going to unify those titles. Don't worry.
It's like that Star Wars meme. It's like, we're going to make you champion. Oh, so you're going to push me, right? Like that's what it seems like.
You're off camera.
Push you off the door. Push you out the door.
It's like I'm just waiting for Tony Schiavone to interview Rosa, and then Britt Baker just comes up and shoves her out of the way. It's like, but Britt, I'm supposed to interview Rosa. No, you're not. Anyways, so
it sounds about right, because that's the only two women they seem to really care about. Is Britt and Jade.
It's like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, next is a 3-way tag team championship match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. You have Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus defending against Team Taz, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland.
Ooh. Well, I'll say this, right? I think all of us can agree. The Jurassic Express, whatever the fuck, those guys got to lose belts.
Yep.
Yeah, agree on that for sure. So far, you're right. One for one so far.
Me, myself, personally, I would finally give a real bone to Team Taz. Starks and Hobbs have been gelling really well as a team. I think it's about time they do something with Team Taz, something that's meaningful. and something that has nothing to do with that damn FTW title, because that means nothing. I would give these guys the fucking tag team titles and have them feud with continue, I guess, the feud with Swerve and Hobbs, or Swerve and Keith Lee.
I agree. I mean, because like Keith Lee and Swerve, you know, they can take this L. Like, you know, Team Taz needs it more because, you know, Ricky Starks has been in with AEW a lot longer. You know, Hobbs. You know, we've been singing his praises. Like, give these guys something. Like, don't give the.
Guess what? And guess what, Drew?
Huh.
If y'all think they ain't talking to Cody, I got another thing coming. Ricky Hobbs. Ricky Hobbs just came out and said he still talks to Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, like
I mean, so if Cody ain't doing some recruiting underneath the table, y'all got another thing coming. So Tony Khan better be treating some of these guys right. Otherwise, they might be making more frequent calls to Cody Rhodes about a job in WWE. Even though I know he's not in charge of talent relations, but I'm just saying, like, he can put in a good word.
Well, also, didn't like Ricky Starks, like when the shit was happening with, you know, Big Swole and Leo Rush, didn't he like make some cryptic tweets?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
He did.
So yeah, I think
he activated his Twitter for like a couple of days after that too. Yeah.
I think Starks is WWE bound. I mean, not for nothing. Him and Bailey are pretty tight.
He's tight with a lot of the girls over there. Huh?
Hobbs is WWE bound. He's a Booker T guy.
Yeah, he's a Booker T guy, Cody Rhodes guy too. Cody was the one that brought him to the dance.
Like again, like I wouldn't be surprised if part of I don't want to say contract, but like, you know, Vince is like, you know, hey, you got some numbers, you know, try to bring some of these guys in.
Yeah. And I think those two guys are on the list along with Wardlow and Jade.
Yeah, Wardlow's coming, Jade's coming, MJF is definitely coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean we already talked about who we think could come, but yeah,
those are names sure I can definitely see. I would not be surprised if any of those names came to WWE.
Yeah, take the titles off of Jurassic Express. They've been giant nothings, and just
and it's been boring. Look, I like Jungle Boy. I think he needs to bulk up, and he needs to get better on the stick. He really does. And I think Christian's going to turn on them, by the way, too. So,
oh yeah,
maybe Christian can help get him there, which should be his job as a veteran at this point, is to help get this guy over. So, I mean, let's see if that happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't.
The few that nobody asked for. Yeah, I'm going to go with. I wouldn't mind if Swerve and Keith Lee won, but I'd rather see Team Taz get a bone. But that's just me. Next is
they hired these two guys not to give them titles right quick.
Yeah, probably. Next is the Anarchy in the Arena match. Jericho Appreciation Society versus Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz, with William Regal. I guess give it to the faces. I don't care. I really don't care.
You would think a match like this is supposed to go to the faces. I mean, you have one faction that formed a few months ago and is supposed to be a finely tuned machine. You have another, two factions which sort of fell out of nowhere and into each other because two members are supposedly friends, and they're already teasing some friction between Eddie and Brian, but. I mean, I don't think I've ever been less interested about a blood and guts type melee before. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the faces win, but I honestly couldn't care less.
RJ?
Yeah, I could care less about this fucking match either. Jericho, just bad, awful group. He's got Daniel Garcia 2.0 and fucking Jake Hager. I mean... This is bad. It's a bad faction, bad group. There's no way you can make that better. And then the fusion between BCC I got to make sure I get that right. BCC and
Is it BBC?
No, it is not. BCC and LAX 4.0 at this point. It's just sloppy, slapped together television. Yes, we know that Kingston and Mox are friends, but I don't know, man. I'm with Jeff. I'm sorry. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I'm not excited for this. I don't care about this whatsoever. Which is a shame because I like Bryan Danielson. I like Eddie Kingston. I'm one of the guys that realize what he is, and I mean he's Eddie Kingston, and he's not going to be a fucking world champion or anything like that, or a world beater. But I'm a fan of Eddie Kingston, and Lord knows I love Proud and Powerful. I think those guys are criminally underrated in AEW. But I just I don't care about this little feud with Jericho. Like I don't care about any of it. It's old, it's drawn out, and it's boring, quite obviously.
I would put Santana and Ortiz on that list that are looking at WWE as well, and WWE should be looking at them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Next is another 6-man tag, the House of Black versus Death Triangle.
Why are we still doing this feud?
You know what? I forgot the House of Black were even a thing.
That's awful. Like I respect Aleister Black, Malachi Black, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him. I respect him for keeping continuity with the whole eye thing, and I mean that's cool. And at least he's one of these guys that's not shitting on WWE post his time there, which is a rarity. But between the stupid face painting, Brody King looking like he's one bad day in the sun for being a weird tie-dye candle, and Buddy the dog looking like he has no business being around any of these people. The House of Black looks like garbage. It does. It really does. And it's something that needs to end. And on the other side, we have the Death Triangle, a group of guys that have been together since pretty much the beginning of AEW, and they have not done anything except for win the tag team titles in a you blink, you miss it brain. And just bad. Another match I'm skipping. But the winners of this match, I guess Death Triangle, give them a bone or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to happen. I think that Death Triangle are going to win. I think they were supposed to win last time, but Phoenix was hurt, and so they brought in Eric Redbeard to take the pin. And I think they're going to, get technically their win back. AEW will probably still continue the feud. I mean, it'll probably be one of those things where Penta beats Malachi Black to the Mist.
Yeah, I could give two fucks about this match. But just Death Triangle, give them something. But either way, this will probably be a match where I'm going to get something to eat.
Malachi Black came in so hot, and then he's feuding with Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That's what happens in AEW. Look at Bryan Danielson. He came in hot. He gave Kenny Omega and fucking Adam Page their best matches, and what have they done with him? Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the BCC, the big Caucasian cock, it ruined it. It started out as if it could have been cool because they were, like we're going to go for all the titles, and then they brought in William Regal, and no, we're not going for any titles. We're going to bring in the guy with the least charisma, and we're going to train him up, and then for the first pay-per-view, he's going to be sent to Japan for the Super Juniors. So there's no point to our faction. So we're going to put him in another feud for no reason except we have no one else to stick them in there. It's. I mean, it's silly. It's like it's the most expensive tag team maybe of all time, and they want to keep. And they're only a tag team because they want to keep them away from every title. I mean, it might be the best argument for Team Taz to win the tag team title so that you can have something for BCC to go for. But by that time, Wheeler Yuta will be back, and they'll be back doing trios stuff. Which I'm sure that's going to be the big announcement in 2 Wednesdays that they're going to have a trios tournament.
Do you think Tony Khan shoved Bryan Danielson in this group so that way Kenny wouldn't feel threatened?
I'm not sure that Kenny's ever coming back to wrestle, so no, right. I just think I think he thought it was a cool idea. It would be like a 2-man power trip, and he's like, let's make it better. Let's make it a 4-person power trip with somebody that nobody will ever care about, and have 2 guys who can talk, have someone else who's an okay talker, but would elevate plenty of other people, and let's put it together and somehow make something really good into something mid.
Oh, boy. Next is a tag team match, player. The Hardy...
You set up a Star Wars attack squad, and you give them Boba Fett and Chewbacca, and then you go, and we're going to add C-3PO to it. What?
I'm like, ugh. So next match is a tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
A tag team match, player. The Hardys versus the Young Bucks.
Woo!
Yeah.
Are they going to do tables, ladders, and chairs?
They might. I don't fucking know. Like this, this match has had no build. Only with like the Hardys talking shit to each other with the Young Bucks in the back and Jeff just looking like it hurts him to even move. This match means nothing. It would have meant something 6 years ago. It means nothing now. The Young Bucks are going to win because they love the Young Bucks, because they want to tell us that the Young Bucks are the greatest tag team in the world. The Young Bucks are going to win this. This is going to be a spot fest. This is going to be nothing but a fucking spot fest. This is going to be nothing but false finishes, 1,000 super kicks, 2 twist of fates, and a swanton in a pear tree. Like, that's pretty much what this fucking match is going to be. The Young Bucks are going to win.
I think you're right. I think it's going to...
And you know what? You know what? I hate the Young Bucks, but that's the right way to go. The Hardys should be putting guys over.
My only question is are they going to roll out Jay White or someone else from Bullet Club to interfere, and then it's going to lead to the Hardys challenging the Bucks to a tables, ladder, and chair match, so they get their win back.
God damn it, Jeff. You know what? That might happen. TLC at maybe at fucking the Forbidden Door show.
Well, you have to think of Tony Khan thinking like a 12-year-old who wants all the dream matches. So he's it would help set up for Forbidden Door. You could have the Bucks against I don't know anyone really in Bullet Club. Let's just say Chris Bay and Jay White. I don't know, and right. The Hardys versus them rather. People would be crying excited about that being or maybe it probably wouldn't be Chris Bay because he's an Impact. Juice Robinson or what? It doesn't matter. Pick any guy, 2 guys from the Bullet Club, and then at the next AEW pay-per-view, you'd have that ladder match between the Bucks and the Hardys. Or they could do it on a random Dynamite. Listen, they need ratings. They're bringing in the execs from Discovery to their Dynamite next week in the LA Forum because Discovery didn't want them coming to them.
That's kind of fucked up to think about.
They should fuck the bullshit.
Oh, God. Next is MJF versus Wardlow in a singles match. If Wardlow wins, he will be granted his release from his contract with MJF. If MJF wins, Wardlow will be permanently banned from signing with AEW. I know Jeff brought up an interesting point on Hammerlock Hangover a while back. So, say Wardlow loses. What if he ends up signing with Ring of Honor?
Jeff's a numbnuts.
Well, because Ring of Honor is technically an AEW owned company, so they can be clever and be like, "I'm going to sign with Ring of Honor."
Yeah,
they could do that. I'm just putting out if they wanted to. I mean, I think that Wardlow has to win this match and should win this match. I mean, he's super old.
You notice how MJF loses big feuds?
Yeah.
Like all
I
of
was just thinking about that too. He's lost the last couple of pay-per-view matches.
Like-
Been in.
like MJF feuds always start the same, and then they always like go on the same. Like, if you want to face me, you have to face this guy, and then you have to face this guy, and then you got to go through this guy, and then we're gonna have a contract signing, and then we're gonna have the match, and then I'm gonna lose. Like
Lashes and
like
kick to the balls, kiss my dynamite ring.
like
Yeah,
I just
you're right.
like I just
Very
thought about
formulaic.
I just thought about this. MJF is the new Bray Wyatt.
Oh God.
Well, somebody typed it in the chat also. Man with black tea.
Man with black teeth. There you go. Yeah, you said it before I did. He is the new Bray Wyatt. He has a really interesting feud to begin with, and then he has to go. Everybody has to go through MJF's labors of love, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Labors of love.
And then he whips you for some reason, and then you have a contract signing, and you have a steel cage match, and he loses.
It's true.
I think the only big feud he actually won was against Cody,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Yeah, I think he's 4 and 5 in pay-per-views.
Like, okay, he beat Punk in Chicago, but he didn't win the dog collar match. Nope. He didn't beat Moxley. He didn't beat who the fuck else didn't he beat?
He didn't beat Jericho on pay-per-view either.
He didn't beat Jericho. He didn't beat who the fuck else?
Hey, Darby.
Well, he beat Darby.
Darby and Jungle Boy are the only two people he's beaten. But as far as like established guys and stuff like that he's feuded with, nope. It's lost to him. Except for Cody.
Right. Yeah, Wardlow has to win this. Wardlow.
Yeah, Wardlow does have to win this though.
So I imagine it's going to continue after this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the main event. Main event time. You have
Woo-hoo!
the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Hangman Adam Page. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dairy Milk Farmer Adam Page versus CM Punk.
Mm-mm.
Guys, what are your choices? Whoever wants to start.
Ooh, Jeff, go ahead, man.
They really, really, really should have CM Punk win. You only have a couple more years with him. He's the biggest star in the company. You want attention. You want, more focus. You have a whole bunch of heels there that could wrestle him. But I think they're gonna keep it on Page. I think they're gonna double down on what they're doing at Double or Nothing, and maybe turn him heelish, and then he can wrestle people like Moxley and maybe a Wardlow down the line. But they've got a bunch of faces also. I mean, maybe a solo Jungle Boy. I don't know. I mean, I don't really. It doesn't matter who they are, but I'm going to go with they stick with their guy. They stick with their horse, Adam Page. But I think it's the wrong move. They should do Punk.
Agreed. Like, give it to Punk. Punk is your most over guy in the company, and like Jeff said, you probably maybe have like a good year or two out of Punk. So strike while the iron is hot. Give it to Punk. Because that creates some much better matchups, much better storylines. I mean, as much shit as I give Punk, a lot, his stuff is usually the best stuff on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He has good matches. He has good promos. Are they all winners? No, not really, but they're usually better than most people. On the company.
Yeah.
So give it to Punk. Strike while they're. I mean, they should have given it to Danielson when he was white fucking hot. Because Page was already a failure from the get go. As a champion, but give it to Punk because Page is a failure.
He's a failure.
He sucks.
I'm a failure, Meg. Just tell me I'm a failure.
You're a failure. You ain't shit. What do you think, RJ?
Punk. I think Punk's got to get the belt. I agree with you. Page. He beat Omega. And it was like, okay, it was one of those instances where a guy chases the title, he gets it, and then what? That's what happened with Adam Page. The then what hit, and now we're stuck with this. Punk is hot, like you said. Now his stuff are it's not all hits, but you know, it's better than the majority. So with that being said, I think Punk should have that belt. I think Punk should have it, carry it for a couple of months. Like you said, time is ticking on his career and his body as well. Strike while you have this man, and have Punk put over somebody big in the future for that title and have it mean something. That's what I would do. And don't have this 6-month, 8-month reign with him. Just let Punk run with it for like 3 or 4 months tops, and let him drop it to somebody that's young and up and coming. But you make sure that guy's ready for it, and he has the whole entire package to be the world champion. Page just had the story, and then that was it. Page didn't really have the excitement or the charisma that carried the world championship after the stuff with Kenny was over with, in my opinion. And I think that the guy that you have to drop it to has to be a guy who can carry it from all different aspects. So and I think that's where the failure came in with Adam Page.
So you're I was just thinking about this. So Punk wins it. Let's say he wins it.
Right.
The right guy to drop it to, in my opinion, would be Wardlow.
Could be.
I mean, he looks like a champion. His promos need some work, but they're not terrible. You know, when he's more of the, how do I put this? A little bit. He can be a little bit like Batista in some aspects, like try to be the cool guy, but be a fucking monster.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Batista always had that factor of I'm the cool guy, but I'm still an ass kicker.
And guess what? Wardlow would be their first big guy champion too. So he would bring something unique and different to the table. But with that being said, Tony Khan doesn't like big guys.
You know what? I don't think it's that he doesn't like big guys. I just think he doesn't know how to book them.
Like big guys, he don't do flips.
Because this whole thing is, you know, I'm a tape trader and like, you know. So I don't know. If you're gonna have Wardlow as your champion, commit. I'm just saying.
Right, and I mean, it would be too soon to go back to the MJF stuff. Otherwise, MJF would be, in my opinion, a viable choice to have that belt. I mean, the guy gets the ratings. The ratings go up every time that guy's on TV. And he's got the heat, and MJF can bring the interest around that championship that I'm afraid that Adam Page just does not have. And look, hey, I wanted to work for Adam Page. I've done a 180 on Adam Page over the years. I thought he was just a boring, bland guy wearing a John Deere hat. And even when he was in Bullet Club, I thought he was just a boring, bland guy with a noose around his neck. So he's, in my opinion, he's come a long way, but there's still some things missing with him overall for him to be the world champion, to be the face of a company, to be the guy that carries the goddamn ball.
Right. All right, so those are our predictions for this Sunday. Let's get to questions, so we can close it out. Kyle has the first question of the night. Where are you, Kyle? All right, he has quite a few questions, so let's get through these. Kyle's first question is, which do you prefer, Marvel or DC movies? And what are your favorite Marvel or DC franchises?
Jeff, you want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Who?
No, RJ, if you want to go first, you can.
I prefer Marvel movies over DC movies. Just that I like more of the DC or Marvel characters more than I like DC characters. I'm not a Superman guy, so I did enjoy the Batman. The Batman was fucking great, and Batman is one of my favorite DC characters. Like, it's him, Green Arrow, and that's pretty much it. like as far as like superheroes go. But overall, I do enjoy the Marvel movies more than I do the DC movies. I did enjoy the DC shows over the Marvel shows, though. But you know, the Marvel on Disney Plus shows are kind of reeling it back for me, and CW is poo-pooing all over the DC properties right now for me. So yeah, that the tide is turning on that as well. But I enjoy Marvel just more than DC overall.
Yeah, I'm a Marvel guy also. I mean, when you ask about franchises, I mean, the Avengers franchise is the MCU. I mean, you can try to break the movies up, but you really can't. So unless you wanted me to go to like the Warfield or Toby Spider-Mans or the old X-Men's or something like that, or the Blade, I would just go Avengers. I mean, I know it's the easy answer, but it happens to be the truth. I mean, this has changed movies. Now, that said, I haven't been particularly thrilled with some of the last movies. I haven't hated them all. It's just that they haven't lived up to my expectations. But you know, I still look forward to every movie, and they're among the only things I'll go, you know, pay for in a movie screen.
Yeah, we're all Marvel guys in here. I prefer Marvel over DC. I mean, I like some things from DC, of course. You know, Batman. I like the Green Arrow show. It's really about it. CW looks like they're kind of, you know, piecing out DC, and I think HBO Max might be picking up some DC shows. I know they're doing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because I mean, at least on HBO Max, they have the budget and they have the wherewithal to kind of make things where they need to be, instead of half-developed crap on CW. And plus, CW has this formulaic way of writing shows anyways. Joni loves Chachi. That type of aspect has to be in all the damn shows, and it's annoying.
Right. Now, so yeah, I'm kind of with you on the Disney Plus shows. Like, I haven't hated them, but I haven't really found one that I loved. Because I was disappointed with Moon Knight. What was the one before Moon Knight? Hawkeye was like up and down for me, but it didn't hit its mark in my opinion.
Man, I loved Hawkeye.
I didn't hate Hawkeye, but it's just like there's something missing.
Yeah, it was something missing. I enjoyed it though. I like Haley Steinfeld and Florence Pugh. Man, they really I love them both, and I thought they did a really good job of carrying it and stuff like that. So I loved Hawkeye. It wasn't even about Jeremy Renner for me. It was about those two girls for me. And it's not like a sexual thing either, by the way. It's just that, you know, I thought both of them did a damn good job at, you know, their parts and stuff like that, and carrying the load that they had to carry.
Right. And, you know, Loki had promise, but it just got kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, might be my favorite one, but you can tell that there was a lot of like reshooting on that show.
Yeah,
because
I thought the action hit really, really good in that.
Oh yeah, and then WandaVision was up and down because it started off really good, and then it slowed down, and then it was good, and then it slowed, and then had a weird ending.
Yeah. So,
and then like with Jeff
and a lot of these shows are not getting follow-ups either. That's the bad thing about it.
Just Loki, and What If. Well, again, another one. What If was interesting in the beginning, but then it just was like, okay, now I know what we're doing. And then, you know, like Jeff was saying about the movies, I haven't hated the movies. I mean, No Way Home is probably the best one out of the new phase so far.
Right.
I like Doctor Strange, but it wasn't the movie.
Was missing there too.
A lot of things were missing. It wasn't the movie I thought was going to happen.
Right.
Eternals was just a movie that shouldn't have been made.
Oh my god. Oof.
Shang-Chi was really good. I enjoyed that. That was a good origin story. Black Widow could have been a lot better.
Could have been a whole lot better.
It was a movie that I think was trying way too hard to be like Winter Soldier, but ended up being more like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that could have been a whole lot better. I was looking forward to that too, because I like Black Widow. I like the character. I like Scarlett Johansson. I like Florence Pugh. So, and I like the mother too. Fucking,
Right.
I can't think of her name right now. But I like that lady too. I think all three of them are great actresses, and I was looking forward to seeing it. So, and I did like the movie, but I do agree, like it was missing. It was missing something, and I think they should have just left Taskmaster alone. Like if they would have left him alone, and maybe done something else, I think that could have been a home run. But unfortunately, it wasn't.
And then
Thor: Love and Thunder has promise, though.
that looks like it's going to be dope. I mean, you got Christian Bale as a villain. He's you don't have to worry about Christian Bale phoning it in. He's going to do a great job. The movie looks like it's going to be great. She-Hulk, oh boy, like that. That's obviously going to be a comedy.
David Otunga got himself booked for that.
Yeah, good for him. But I don't know. Just I'm obviously going to watch it. I'm obviously going to watch the show because it's Marvel.
Right.
So we'll see. But next question.
Oh, I heard some early reviews about Miss Marvel too. I heard Miss Marvel was kind of comparable to Tom Holland's Spider-Man as far as like him going through it and really building up the character instead of the character coming in OP and coming in hot,
Right.
with no building blocks and stuff like that. So that sounds pretty promising to me. So I'm looking forward to that.
I want to watch it because again, I'm not familiar with the character. I've read maybe one comic, but and the girl in it, she seems like she's likable, like Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna like it because my bar is very low. RJ, I don't know if you know this about me. My bar is very low, but I could still like something and criticize it at the same time.
Right, exactly, and I mean that's what you have to do too. I mean that's the only way people are gonna respect your opinion and want to listen to you talk about it. If you're just everything's great, nothing's bad. Okay, well that sucks.
But let's get to the next question because Kyle has 6 more questions. He says, Drew, since you live in Texas, the state with the most D1 college football teams with 12, do you have a favorite team? I'm not really a big fan of college football, Kyle, if you can believe that. I'm one of the very few Texans who does not give 2 shits about college football. So I hope that answers your question. Have you heard about the Alamo Dome in San Antonio is going to host the Royal Rumble for the 3rd time next year? I heard a rumor about that. I hope so. That'd be pretty fucking dope. And I'm obviously going. Next is how extremely over would the wrestler who defeats Roman Reigns for either the WWE or Universal Championship be by making him tap out? Oh. I mean, pretty fucking over. Like, you make the big dog, you make the head of the table tap out, like you're a made man. Like you better be a made man.
Wait a minute, who's tapping out the big dog?
I mean, he's just saying in theory, like, whoever it is.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. My last match is going to be against Roman Reigns. Woo!
Good Lord.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that would make a star. I mean, if the right person, yeah, like, I mean, that's a sigh of ultimate defeat. Give up. I gave up, tapping out. So Roman Reigns has been booked, very, very strong, untouchable since being back. So, I mean, that would really do wonders for whoever gets the nod in that, with that whole entire setup.
Jeff,
if that was to happen.
Jeff just mentioned he has to leave. All right, man. Take care, buddy.
All right, Jeff. See you later, man.
See y'all. Take care, guys. See you, chat.
All right, it's just me and RJ. All right, next question from Kyle. How do you think WWE decides on what city to put their pay-per-views in each year? I guess they just look at the city, see who has a better market. Maybe probably
who's going to react more? Who's not going to sit on their hands and feet? Who's going to actually buy tickets?
It's just like we have to put a pay-per-view in Chicago because Chicago's a hot crowd. Philadelphia, I'm I'm surprised there's not more pay-per-views in Toronto.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah, because that's hot. Toronto fucking is hot for anything, and maybe put more paper. I mean, that pay-per-view, that Clash at the Castle, where is that going to be?
It's in Wales, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right, and I'm glad that they're having a pay-per-view overseas. They really should have.
Those fans are passionate over there, man. I know a lot of podcasters, they poo-poo on people from the UK and Canada and all that, but look, I would rather have a crowd that's energetic than have a crowd that is boring and sitting on their hands and feet.
For example, don't have any pay-per-views in Corpus Christi.
Oh, please, for the love of God, don't.
Corpus Christi sucks as a wrestling crowd. House shows, yes. Do not have a Raw or a SmackDown or a pay-per-view in Corpus Christi, ever.
Shit, you can do a gym in Corpus Christi.
It's the liveliest I ever heard Corpus Christi was during the Chris Benoit Memorial Show, and nobody was.
I know.
And nobody was even there.
God damn it!
He wasn't even there. It was Owen.
Liar is always sexual. Well, I mean, Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld are good-looking women. I mean, hey.
Shit, I love me some Florence Pugh. She got that cake, and Haley Steinfeld, she's just, She does not want to. She's the type of girl that wouldn't just give it up to anybody.
Yeah.
They're asking her in a radio interview, do guys even ask you out? She's like, they ask me out, I just don't want to go.
Oh, damn.
So she's waiting for the.
She's on that pristine time, huh? Okay, I see you.
You got to make it worth her time. Next question. How old were you when you went to your first pro wrestling show? For me, I was 14, and then it was a 3-hour special Raw. Oh my God, I almost read that wrong. It was a 3-hour special Raw at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee in March 2008. I thought, Kyle, for a second, I thought you said you were going to the Raw in 2007 in Corpus Christi.
Oh, good Lord.
Kyle was just like, why am I the only one here? What's going on? Oh, it's Chris. Why is Chris? Never mind. Why is Chris Benoit on the screen? Is he wrestling tonight? Oh boy.
Whatever you need, whatever you got.
Whatever you want, I'll take back again. For me, believe it or not, I was 22 when I went to my first event, because back in my day, when I was a kid, I didn't really have a lot of access to go to events. I didn't have anyone that was willing to take me, or that was willing to go for me, or I just didn't really have a lot of friends who liked wrestling. So I was kind of the closet wrestling nerd. So I was able to go to my first event when I was 22, and that was Vengeance in 2011. And I had floor seats. And I didn't even know I had floor seats because I just bought the tickets when they first came out. And when I got there, they were showing me to my seat. I'm like, so I'm going to be sitting literally on the floor? Well, not literally on the floor, but I have floor seats. And I got to take my chair home. I still have that chair. It's Mark Henry's on the chair. So I had a lot of fun. What was your first show?
It was an FCW event back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was actually it was the show that Bray Wyatt actually tried he was doing a gimmick. It's kind of like a Slipknot type gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the Axel Mulligan gimmick. Now it only lasted a couple of weeks. And he was trying it on the house show marketing FCW for a few weeks, and I actually thought that gimmick was actually pretty nicely, but he struck gold with Bray Wyatt though. He struck gold with Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that was a good show, man. Definitely a really good show.
Kyle's last question is, Texas has some of the best barbecue in the nation. What are some of the best barbecue restaurants that you've been to? Rudy's Barbecue. The tagline is, we're the worst barbecue in Texas. And it's really fucking good. I highly recommend it. Rudy's is pretty much everywhere in Texas. There's one in Corpus. I keep coming back to Corpus for some reason. San Antonio, of course. So whenever you're in Texas, stop by Rudy's. And Bill Miller's. Because, yeah, it's Bill Miller's. It's Texas. You got to go to Bill Miller's. Thank you for the questions, Kyle. Next is Maurice Bear. Maurice is asking, what is the best WWE pay-per-view from 2002?
I like SummerSlam 2002.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with SummerSlam.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Brock and Rock, Eddie Guerrero, that was a damn good pay-per-view.
Shawn Michaels coming back against Triple H.
Yeah, to me, I thought that was a damn good show. I thought 2002 was pretty underrated in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people love 2003 WWE, but I thought 2002 had some good shows there.
Yes.
Or maybe I was just enjoying it a little too much because I was a child then. But
oh no, I enjoyed it. I loved it.
I thought 2002 was a nice year for WWE as far as like pay-per-views and stuff like that went as well. So. But SummerSlam 2002 really does stick out to me a lot.
I second that. Next question: which reign of terror was bad, Triple H or Slapnuts Jeff Jarrett?
Oh God, Jeff. I think Jeff is worse, man.
Bingo. At least Triple H is.
Triple H can. At least Triple H. I found his wrestling to be good, and Triple H entertains me. Like. I always say it all the time. Angry Triple H is the best Triple H. When Triple H is angry and cutting promos and being mad, it's still one of the funniest Triple H moments is when he fucking chased Lillian Garcia over the goddamn barricade.
The former World Heavyweight Champion.
Wait, what? Jerry Lawler, just everybody's reaction to it. Triple H.
Bring your ass over here!
He with that. And he kind of busted his ass over the barricade so she can get away, but it was great. Triple H is I find Triple H more entertaining. Jeff Jarrett, it was just rinse and repeat with this guy. Kick to the slash zone, guitar shot, a bunch of interference, and he both guys fucked a lot of guys over. They definitely fucked a lot of guys. But Triple H, at least Triple H put over Batista in the end. Triple H put over Randy Orton somewhat in the end. He put over certain guys in the end when it was over. Jeff Jarrett, the only guy he put over was Sting on his way out.
And Kurt Angle.
Yeah, and Kurt Angle, already established guys. At least Triple H in the long haul, when it was all said and done, he put over two new guys, Right. You're sure he fucked over RVD and Booker T and Kane was already an established guy. But he fucked those guys, but in the end, he made Randy Orton and he made Batista stars.
Angie Carlick brought this up a while ago. If he had put over Booker T at Mania, do you think Booker would even would Booker have even been a draw?
I don't know, but it would have been worth the try to see if Booker would have been a draw. That's why you have trial runs. You do it. You put the belt on Booker for maybe a month or two. If business is bad, then you take it off him. You put it back on Triple H. You don't know if you don't try sometimes. You don't know if you don't try. Just like when Eddie Guerrero had the belt. He had the belt from February to June of 2004. Mm-hmm. It wasn't working out. He wasn't drawing. Eddie Guerrero's fans failed him. I failed Eddie Guerrero. I felt like I failed him as a fan, but to be fair, I was a little child. I was poor. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really support him in the way that maybe I could now. If he was alive and he was a champion, I would make sure that Eddie Guerrero was a drawing champion. by going to a house show or by buying a T-shirt and making sure the ratings is up whenever he was on TV. I would do my part, but like Eddie Guerrero wasn't a drawing champion, neither was Benoit, and they saw that within the 4 or 5 months he had the belt, and there was a mutual agreement to get the belt off him and put it on JBL, who JBL didn't do much better as champion, but there was more method to JBL's title run in the long haul, obviously.
You know what?
Because it created Super Cena, down the line. But I mean,
unpopular opinion. I didn't hate JBL's title run because there was a method to it, like you said. Because he was a fucking like dirty, just awful heel. Like he was an over heel because he knew how to be a dick. Because Bradshaw in reality was a fucking dick. And he knew how to get under people's skin, like his feud with Eddie Guerrero. He put his hand on Eddie Guerrero's mom and caused her to have a quote unquote heart attack. He was at the border chasing away illegal immigrants, and that was in San Antonio. That was near the border, and I remember that show. So like that's shit you can never do today, like never. So yeah, I guess I kind of agree with you, where it's just like, you never know unless you don't try, like. Put the title on Booker, and also you're heading to the summer. So just give Booker the title for the summer, and if it's not working out, give it back to Triple H, or give it to somebody else. So yeah, you're right about that. And also at WrestleMania, that's supposed to be like the biggest show of the year. Just let these guys win these big matches at Mania. Let's see what they can do.
You can get away with a flip. I mean, and then you can see if Booker is drawing interest into the next pay-per-view, which would probably be a rematch. And if he's drawing interest there, and the buy rates are up for the pay-per-view, then maybe you got something. But then the ultimate test is, okay, when Booker T moves on from Triple H to face, I don't know, a Goldberg or a Chris Jericho or somebody like that, then you'll have your answer whether he's a draw or not.
All right. So, last question from Maurice Bear. Which haunted place in America would you like to spend the night? Neither. Unless you're paying me money. Unless you're paying me unless I'm getting paid $1 million. If not, then I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on the haunted shit, man. When you're a guy that's already haunted by many other things that went down in your life, I don't think staying in a haunted house is the best idea for you. So, yeah, I'm going to have to pass on that.
All right. Thank you, Maurice Bear. Next is Lightning. Lightning 116. The question is, have you seen the clip from the Ricky Gervais special? You know which one? Actually, I do not, Lightning. Of course,
what did he say?
He didn't say anything because I don't even know what the clip is. But
okay.
I'll try to look up the clip. Of course, you will have the usual whiners with the mass victim complex and useful idiots calling for Ricky's head, some of whom that probably will be in this chat, but I laugh my ass off. It's funny how a bunch of bad apples wasn't special treatment and cry foul when anyone dares treat them equally, yet everyone else had no problem with it, especially the ones who were the butt of the jokes. I don't know how to respond to it because I haven't seen the clip.
My thing is this, okay?
Right.
Comedians have been telling jokes for pretty much since the beginning of time. My thing is, if you have sensitive skin, if you have sensitive bones, don't go to a fucking comedy show.
Right.
Don't go to a comedy show, because guess what? You're gonna get picked on. There's fucking celebrities that sit in the crowd and they get picked on. Like, I was watching a clip the other day of fucking Ari Spears talking about Shaq, and he said, and I quote, "Look at Shaq wearing that picnic suit. I could eat a peanut butter jelly off that nigga's back." And Shaq was busting out laughing. It was a funny joke. He's making fun of how big he is. And I'm pretty sure it's something that Shaq has never heard his whole entire life. Shaq knows he's fucking big. You know what I'm saying? And he wore a suit. Like, you're going to be subjected to jokes. I'm sorry. Like, what is the point of going to a comedy show, watching anything with anybody telling any type of jokes if you're going to get mad. These comedy shows, nothing is off limits for a lot of these comedians. And look, I'm sorry, like, why would you put yourself through that only to get frustrated and get mad? Come on, man.
Well, that segues into the next question. What's your take on yet another controversy surrounding comedy?
Drew, that's like me paying some guy to fuck my wife, and then I get mad. When I get mad when he hits the money shot. Like, come on, like, it doesn't make any sense. Why put yourself through that to begin with?
Well, that's basically like what happened a while ago with fucking Will Smith when you saw Will laughing at the joke.
Will Smith laughed at the fucking joke. The only reason why he went up there and smacked that man was because Jada told him to.
Yeah, it's just Will's a cuck.
Will Smith is a cuck.
He
cucked out.
He's a cuck, but he needs help, and we all want Will to get help.
Yeah, I want Will to get help. I want him to fucking divorce the bitch. Honestly, that's what I want. But that's what I want, not what Will Smith wants. I don't know what Will Smith wants, but hopefully he gets some help, because Jesus Christ, this ain't it, man.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Will Smith, so I want him to get help, and I want him to get better.
Me too.
Get back on that pedestal. Be the Will Smith that we all know you are.
Not this sad shell of a man the last 2 years. And I also thought that that slap was a little bit of a message too. A lot of people making fun of him about the memes and all this shit of him crying at the table. Even though once again he put himself through that by agreeing to be on the damn thing to begin with. Putting his business out on the table. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. That all ties in together. Why subject yourself to something like that when there's going to be, there's going to be some type of reaction to it? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
All right. Thank you for the question, Lightning116. Now, RJ, it's time for CM Hyuk questions.
Here we go.
First question. What do you think of giant baby man Billy Lightbulb Head Corgan's single best idea since buying the NWA? That being making Matt Cardona the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I'm fine with it because I think Matt Cardona is doing the best work. Is doing his best work since leaving WWE. I mean he's pulling a Cody. Except in Cody's case, Cody, I guess. Did Cody let his contract run out, or did he ask to be released? I forgot.
Someone from WWE?
That's what I'm talking. Like when Cody originally left WWE, did he ask to be released, or?
I think Cody's contract was coming out, and he decided not to renew. Him and Barrett.
All right, so in Cardona's case, he got released, but he left WWE, and he like Cody, he bet on himself, and so far he's succeeding. He's the NWA World Champion. He's a really good heel. He's dating a really good looking girl. So he looks like
him and Myers. I'm not the biggest fan of Cardona. He's basic to me. I like Myers a little bit more. I think Myers just has better moves in his arsenal as far as wrestling aspect goes. But Cardona looks like $1 million, and he's buying into the act. And him and Myers have really tapped into something nice on the indie market. And Chelsea Green too. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of it or anything like that, but I think they are doing some good work. And Billy Corgan, let's be fair to him. Billy Corgan has scraps. Right. Him and Impact have the scraps. What ain't in AEW or WWE, whatever's left out there, that's what Billy Corgan and Scott D'Amore, that's what they have to work with. So, with that being said, I just think that Billy Corgan is doing the best he can with what he has. And Cardona, right now, he's the hot ticket. And just to think about it, it all started in GCW, and I think he got a good whiff of it. and he decided to spread that heel wealth into his act everywhere, and it's working off. It's paying off for him. So, props to Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. They've turned a negative into a positive. And hey, don't be surprised if Cardona gets a call back to WWE in a few years.
I mean, he's already said, straight up, if WWE calls, I'll listen. So he's going to go back.
He's definitely going to go back, yeah.
Oh, and also he told Cody, go back to WWE.
Yeah, of course, because he's not an idiot, and he's probably seen what it was like back in AEW. He could have signed with AEW, but I don't know why that wasn't an option for him. But evidently, it had to be for a reason, and not just any old reason. So, I think Cardona will be back. He'll be back.
Next question. Has anyone been able to specifically document the alleged multiple times that Sasha Banks has walked out on the great and knowledgeable Vince McMahon in the precious WWE? To my knowledge, this is the first I've heard of her walking on the company. I think this is the only time. I mean, I know there was the supposed, she got on the ground and threw a temper tantrum at Mania a few years ago. But as far as
she walked out after that.
So
when she left and came back with the blue hair.
Yeah, that's to my knowledge.
There's a lot of instances with Sasha Banks, which is why I'm not too overly protective of Sasha. When we talked about it last week, I wasn't too protective. If you notice, my support and my kind of affection was more towards Naomi, because Naomi's not a usual suspect in this type of manner. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Sasha Banks has a very, very long documented history. And even with people that I know that have been behind the scenes in NXT and stuff like that, just talk about how Sasha is very bratty and very full of herself. And that kind of turned me off as a fan, It really does. That kind of behavior turns you off as a fan. And there's been a lot of instances. How well documented all of them are, I do not know. But Sasha's look at Sasha Banks' social media history and stuff like that. She doesn't hide the fact that she's got her type of problems with WWE and things she sees wrong with it. Sasha Banks' infamous Tumblr page and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's out there. Sasha doesn't hide, how she feels about the company necessarily. So it's out there,
Next question. Mambo number 5 implies the existence of previous 4 Mambos. What do you think happened to them?
They all died.
They're all dead. They're all dead, Goof.
Lexington Steel took and spat them all out.
Jesus Christ. Does that answer your question, Goof? I hope so. Next one is, if woodchucks could chuck wood as their name suggests, how angry would lumberjacks be about this? I mean, pretty fucking pissed off. Because it's like...
yeah.
Because, you're taking away my job, dude. This is my job. I'm trying to feed my family, and you motherfucking chickmunks, woodchucks, are just coming in here, chucking our wood. Not cool. Not cool at all.
Fucking work. You motherfuckers.
You motherfuckers. Next question. Oh, God. In your opinion, which of the following Kongs is the superior Kong? Donkey, Donkey Jr., Diddy, Dixie, Kitty, Funky, or Cranky?
A donkey.
I guess Donkey? Jeez.
Donkey and King. I'm surprised he didn't put amazing or awesome in there.
Mm-hmm. Next one. Alright. Seeing as how WWE doesn't do outdoor stadium shows or outdoor shows in general, should Tony Khan try to capitalize on this market and try to do a few baseball stadium shows over the summer, since he's recently expressed doing one at the world's largest gay bar tourist trap that is Wrigley Field?
Wait a minute. WWE does do outdoor stadium shows. Not baseball field shows, but they do outside stadium shows.
Yeah, the fucking...
They do ballparks. Yeah, they do ballparks.
Crown Jewel? Wasn't that an outdoor stadium show?
Jewel, Rumble, SummerSlam. Isn't SummerSlam going to be in the stadium this year?
Yep.
It was last year? Yeah, no. You're kind of way off the mark there, man. They do shows in stadiums.
And then what is it? The Clash at the Castle. Is that going to be an outdoor stadium?
Yeah, that's an outdoor stadium.
See
Yeah.
there you go.
They're doing another Crown Jewel in November the 14th, I think.
Oh yeah, I just heard about that
So-
today.
And I'm not gonna lie, Crown Jewel, the last one was actually pretty good. So I mean, I'm not Crown Jewel. What was it? Yeah, the last Crown Jewel was pretty good, and the Elimination Chamber over there was actually pretty good too. And they're doing TLC over there in Saudi Arabia, I do believe. So that's gonna be most likely in the stadium as well. So yeah, WWE's doing a lot of stadium shows here lately, which is good. I mean, change up the environment of the shows a little bit. So why not?
Last question from CM Goof. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh boy.
Camille Brickhouse, Rhea Ripley, or Jade Cargill?
Oh my God! Go ahead, Drew.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So in other words, you want us to be stretched? Like, Jesus. He says he has 2 more questions at least. I don't see the other 2 questions, Goof. I just see that question. Unless you want to put it down here. Doesn't bother me. Alright, so fuck, marry, kill. I'd marry Jade, fuck Rhea, and kill Camille.
I marry Rhea. Fuck Jade and kill Camille. Oh man, I like Camille. Like, I mean, I'm usually not into brolic, like, big jacked women, but I'll make an exception for those 3. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I marry Rhea, fuck Jade, and kill Camille. Oh man.
Yeah, at least
That
Camille
was a tough one.
At least Camille doesn't talk.
Yeah, she does not. That's a.
Yeah, she's,
if you like subservient women, then that might be a good thing.
I'm kidding. I heard she's pretty cool. I know Karlik met her, and Karlik said he met her at a Karlik said he met her at a convention, and she was talking, and he goes, "I thought you weren't supposed to talk." She goes, "Yeah, don't tell anybody." So
Yeah, I heard she's very nice to her fans and stuff like that. I heard the same thing about Rhea too. I haven't heard anything about Jade and her attitude.
I don't think Jade has an attitude because Jade.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, I haven't heard anything. Like, the jury isn't out whether she has one or is she cool to the fans or not. Like, I haven't heard anything about it.
I don't know. She seems like she's pretty liked by everybody. Like, she seems pretty chill. Like someone you'd want to hang out
I mean,
with.
that's the vibe that I kind of get from looking at her. But then again, I thought Sasha Banks was the same way too, until we found out what we found out, and those feelings have changed. So,
all right, so Goof actually has 2 more questions. Let me just pull it up right here.
Who has the bigger ass, Bailey or Toni Storm? At this point in time, I would say Bailey.
No, those aren't his questions. Is the YMCA really as much fun to stay at as the Village people make it sound in their song? No.
No.
I played summer basketball at the YMCA. It sucked. I hate it.
I went to the YMCA. I legit went to the YMCA, and I was starving to see a woman afterwards. I'll put it to you that way.
All right.
I will say that if you're a woman, or if you're a homosexual and you're into men, you will probably have a great time at the YMCA. But me, myself, personally, I don't like to be around too many men, okay? Especially in one sitting. So, yeah. When I left the YMCA after a few hours being there, I was starving to see a female.
Right.
So, yeah.
Say no more. His last question is a 3-parter. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Why is CM Punk afraid of Sting?
Is he afraid of Sting?
I don't know. I didn't know he was afraid of Sting.
Me neither. That's news to me.
How much does Punk fear Sting?
I don't know. I mean, he dressed up like him. Had the face painting and everything, the tights and everything. The more appropriate question would be, why does CM Punk fear Colt Cabana?
The last question:
Man.
when will these two young lions finally wrestle at Bound for Glory? The future is now. Wrong company, goof.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony Khan treats Impact like it's a piece of shit, so I don't think we'll be seeing that at Bound for Glory. But I heard a spot at I'm about to say the factory, the Fallen Factory. A spot at the fucking Full Gear pay-per-view sounds pretty nice. Sting versus CM Punk, and hey, Punk and Sting might be a title match for the future.
It's Sting.
At the Punk beats Adam Page this weekend for the belt. Those two young and up-and-comers are gonna have the scrap down of the ages at Full Gear. $60 to see these two young lions going at it.
And Dave
Oh
Meltzer.
my god!
Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars.
With Dave Meltzer jacked off, 8 stars plastered all across his computer screen.
This match made me come in my face. Brian Alvarez.
The load was too damn strong, and it just couldn't be contained anymore.
Denise Salcedo said that she rubbed her clit 5 times in this match.
And Denise also said that Dave Meltzer's cum was too strong, that it leaked through her ceiling and dropped on her breast.
Tony Khan said, I would have enjoyed this match a lot better if Britt didn't use her tongue.
I told her more teeth, no tongue, damn it.
Keith Lee said, oh my.
What on God's green earth did I just witness?
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Maya, pray tell, do you know what fellatio is?
Oh my god. Keith Lee's just oblivious to sex terms, which is why he had no problem with naming his finisher in WWE the BBC.
Jesus Christ.
Remember that? He called his move the BBC.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Yeah,
No.
he's calling it what, the Big Bang Catastrophe.
Oh God.
I remember somebody said it on commentary. The BBC.
I just imagine they're laying in bed and Maya's like, Keith, I want to make love. Oh, not now, Maya. I'm reading Garfield. Oh, that little rascal. What's he up to next? All right, we better
laughing at little cat.
All right, we need to finish this up. All right, thank you, CM Goof. The last question of the night is Anna. What is your Mount Rushmore of WWE pay-per-views, and what the fuck was Becky wearing on Raw? Thank you.
I think she was trying out for the Judgment Day, huh? The Brood style.
Probably.
As far as Mount Rushmore pay-per-views, man, that's a damn good question. But damn, that's something I'm gonna have to think about.
Let me try to think off my head. So,
yeah,
SummerSlam 02, Money in the Bank 2011.
Okay, I agree with you on those two.
And I'm gonna sound like a dumbass. Mount Rushmore is 4, right?
I do believe 4 or 5. 4 to 5.
All right, so I have 2. WrestleMania 17.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great pay-per-view. Shit. I'm trying to think of one. Fuck, what was it? I'm trying to think of another good pay-per-view.
He does not know what pay-per-view to choose.
Oh my.
Keith Lee says, oh my.
Man, I can't think of one. I can only think of those 3.
You already sounded like Lexington Steel. Oh my. Oh.
Shit. Well, fuck, I can't think of anything. I'm stumped. I am stumped. For the first time in my life, I'm stumped.
I got some.
No, I got one.
So-
I got one. One Night Stand, 2005. ECW One Night Stand.
There you go.
All right, go ahead.
So mine would be Money in the Bank 2011, SummerSlam 2002, SummerSlam 2000. That great Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle main event, Kane and Undertaker. Undertaker took Kane's mask. X-Pac and Road Dogg. Yeah, that's some good stuff. So that's 3. You know, a pay-per-view that I enjoyed that I don't think a lot of people enjoyed all that much was Bad Blood 2004. I might be showing my age in that regard, but yeah, Bad Blood 2004 with Benoit and Kane. I thought that was a good match to the finish. If I do believe, I think Kane got himself disqualified, if I'm not mistaken. And Shelton Benjamin and Randy Orton had a good match on that show. Triple H and Shawn Michaels had a great Hell in a Cell, very violent. So yeah, Bad Blood 2004 I thought was a good show too.
You know, it's another good pay-per-view that I just remembered is No Way Out 2006. The main event the main event was Undertaker,
Orton and Ray, right?
Yeah, Orton and Ray, where Ray's WrestleMania match was up for grabs. Undertaker and Kurt Angle.
That great match. I think that was like the first of great Undertaker matches.
Loved that. What was the other one? Booker T versus Chris Benoit.
Benoit.
Another good match. Fuck. I'm trying to think of more good matches. Man, you know what? Shit, I should have done my homework because I'm trying to think of more pay-per-views that were that were worth worth going back and watching. I thought
Juliet Rose versus the Raven King RTJ in the main event. No.
I thought SummerSlam 05 was decent. What is it? It was Hogan and Shawn Michaels in the cartoon match. That was entertaining.
Oh God! Shawn Michaels bumping around all over the place. I was watching clips from that earlier. Actually, that's funny you brought that up.
John Cena, Chris Jericho. What was it? Edge and Matt Hardy. I think Batista wrestled on the show too. I think it was Batista and
Batista versus JBL. Yeah, title.
Randy Orton
DC,
versus
I do believe. Randy
Orton versus Taker.
Yeah. Randy Orton got his win back from Mania.
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlams were really fucking good around that point. From like 2000 to like 2006 was like the last best SummerSlam, in my opinion. I thought, SummerSlam last year was actually pretty decent. I remember praising that after it went off air.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, WrestleMania 30 was I thought that was a good pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 30 was pretty good. That was like the last pay-per-view I paid for full price. It has been, I mean, when you think about it, you break it down, there's a lot of good WWE pay-per-views. And even ones we're not even thinking of. Like, hell, I thought the pay-per-view a couple of weeks ago was actually pretty good for a show that had low expectations.
Mm-hmm. Usually WWE, whenever they have to like do things on the fly, it ends up being pretty good.
Yeah, and by the way, Dave Meltzer was way off the mark talking about something that 6-man was a fucking PWG style match. Because I'm sorry, I didn't see Randy Orton and Roman Reigns doing any flip dives.
Like Roman Reigns can't do suicide soitas or whatever the fuck they're called.
Well, Roman Reigns can do it, and he has done like the big suicide dive off the rope and shit like that. But he doesn't need to do that shit.
Oh, and speaking of which, Randy Orton is currently out with a bad back.
Oh boy!
from carrying this company. I'm playing. No, but for real, he has a bad back.
Yeah, best wishes to Randy. Randy's been on a roll. And, I mean, he's been undeniably one of the best parts of Raw. WWE, period. The last couple of... Ever since he came back, because when they started shows, he came back like a few weeks afterwards. And ever since he's been back and doing the Arcade Bro stuff, like, he's been having a good time. You can tell he's having a good time. And, like, his career, you can feel it's been ignited again. And he's looking good, and I think a lot of people were enjoying Randy Orton at this point, and they're really appreciating him. Whereas a lot of people were kind of down on him over the last couple of years, myself included. Like, I have this up and down thing with Randy Orton, but it's just because, like, his work and his mood has been up and down. So it's just like, when you feel like he doesn't care, then you kind of don't care. But when he's on, Randy Orton's fucking on. And there's no denying that whatsoever. You could be the biggest hater of his all you want, but you can't deny when Randy Orton's on, he's on. And he's been on the last year and a half. He
gets a lot of love from a lot of the old timers in the company. Also, the ones that aren't in the company. You know, like
a lot of the kids love him too. I'm in this group chat with a lot of, well, they're not kids, but they're like younger than I am, like 18, 19, younger, and even they love Orton. Really, like in the age where, there's smart mark, a lot of the kids are like smart marks nowadays, but a lot of them fucking love Randy Orton, man. Like
Orton is very much like, it's funny you say that, because he said that in an interview. Like, he talked about, back in the day, when he was Legend Killers and Evolution, the first thing he would do when he would get to the arena, he would look for the women in the crowd, like where the chicks at. Now it's like the complete opposite. Like, where are the kids at? I want to, say hi to the kids. I want to give a high five to the kids. Because Orton's a dad. He has kids. I mean, he has his kids, and he also has his wife's kids.
Orton's got I think he's got 6 kids altogether.
It's just funny when Cody came back. He's like, so when did Randy become a family man?
Yeah, no.
So
even when Cody was still around in WWE, Randy wasn't with this woman yet. He didn't get with this woman until after Cody left, like a year after.
Yeah, I like his wife.
Oh, she takes no shit. She gives 0 fucks, but she's that, but in a cool way, Instead of like Rebby, where Rebby would be cool, but Rebby just does way. She's too trigger happy about it. And It comes across as like, bitch, you need to calm down some. Take it down a notch. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Which Kim says what she has to say, and you can agree with how she, does things, And
it's weird because and
then they do like a table for 3 with them on it or something like that, or am I tripping?
No, I remember that. It was it was Rebby, it was Kim, and Giovanni, Kurt Angle. And that was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little choked up in that episode because Kim is talking about when their daughter was born, and everyone at the table was getting choked up. I was just like, it's not that sad. And it wasn't sad. It was actually kind of it was kind of a sweet story. Yeah. But it's weird about Randy. Like, you hear a lot of people talk about Randy back in the day, and they'll still say nice things. Like, I was watching an old interview with Paul London and Brian Kendrick that was from 2011, and they'll say they love Randy. Like, Randy was one of their favorite people, and he did a lot of he did a lot of crazy shit. And at the same token, they would say Randy was always one of the first guys to pick up the tab. But of course, a lot of women didn't like Randy for obvious reasons, for reasons I can agree with,
Yeah, that they weren't about the business and shit like that. And Randy Orton was testing them. He was giving them the test.
Right. All right, so we have about 11 minutes until Spreaker cuts us off. So thank you guys for the questions. Great questions. Thank you, Jeff Littman, if you're listening. Thank you, Ruben. Sorry about the heated debate from earlier. Again, we generally try not to get too heated on the show, but the conversation was a little heated, but it makes for a good show at the same token. So, thank you guys for the question. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, RJ, for coming on. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on. So go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
You find me on Twitter at LowRJUnlimited, where anything that I say out of my mouth has no goddamn limits whatsoever. You follow me on Instagram at LowRJTheSavage. And, like I said, the last time I was on here, you know, I'm a part of this project called KCW, Kingdom Championship Wrestling. It's a 2K Fed. If anybody wants to be a part of it, DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, just let me know. If you have a creative wrestler out there, then Bow Wow did have hits. Anna, what are you talking about? Bow Wow had a bunch of hits in 2001. After that, not so much. I would agree. If before or after 2001, I would agree with you. But Bow Wow had shit tons of hits back in 2001. That was his year. Like, Lil Romeo couldn't even touch Bow Wow. When people were like, oh, Lil Bow Wow and Romeo, who's better? And Bow Wow runs circles around Romeo, has way more hits than a bunch. Like, I can name you top hits off the top of my head that Bow Wow's had. Basketball, which is on the Like Mike soundtrack. Ghetto Girls.
Jesus Christ.
Take You Home. I mean, there's a bunch. Not even for kids. Like, anthems for like Ghetto Girls is a fucking anthem for the hood. You know, it's an anthem. Bow Wow's got a lot of hits, man. But more so when he was a child, though. Like I said, I will agree with Bow Wow now, not so much. The only hit Bow Wow had as an adult was You Can Get It All. It was a song that he wrote when I was in middle school. After that, I would agree.
What about
y'all need to check out Bella Danger. What the hell?
Let me hold you tight. That was another song.
Yeah.
That just shows my age. Where you can find me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Drew Yari. Very easy man to find. The podcast you can find anywhere. I'm on Spreaker. You can also find me on Google Play, iTunes, or it's not even Google Play anymore, it's Google Podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and Patreon. We're all on Patreon. Me and RJ and Ruben and right. Jeff Lippman.
We talk about bad shit on there.
Talk
about porn and boobs.
we do. You want to hear the good shit? Go to our Patreon and pay a small fee of $5 a month. You won't be disappointed, guys. And if you need the link, I'll be glad to send you a link. Or you can also go on my.
Just not the link in your pants, please.
Yes, please don't do that, please, because that'll just be off-putting. And I can tell you where you can find Jeff. You can find him on Twitter. Just type in his name. He's a very easy man to find.
Look, that Static Shock theme song was the best song Lil Romeo's ever had.
Are we still on this?
Superhero Static Shock. Ooh, that's the best song Romeo's ever had. In the earlies. I'll give him that.
All right, Jeff Lippman. You can find him on Hammerlock Hangover. You can find him on Garden of Doom, Garden Views. He also does another podcast with a PWC podcast. I think it's like every night after Raw, I believe. So good there.
If you're not careful, you can find Jeff Lippman creeping around in your closet. When that happens, it's not a good thing.
I mean, depending on who you are, it might be a good thing. But anyways, you're welcome, Jeff. I plugged you. Anyways, guys, have a good night, and the show will be up either tomorrow or Friday. I'll edit it when I get home tomorrow. So, anyways, guys, take care. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, and peace.
Peace out.